On a Wednesday. Hope your week is going well. It's Wednesday. What do you want? So
Hump day.
Yeah. And hump day's almost over, so you know.
That's right. So a few quick announcements to start. First, our Kickstarter. We're so excited. We hit the $2,000 stretch goal. So we've got that awesome Foxy Irregulars pin.
Yes.
And now we have new stretch goals. If you've ever wanted to wear Tiana, now is your chance, because the Chaos Agents, the pictures of the Chaos Agents are going to be the new pins, which is,
Love it.
I mean, maybe you'll wear them. I don't know. Gotta collect them all.
Gotta collect them all.
It's our version of Pokemon Go. It's Pokemon Go Away.
That was such a dad joke.
Wait. Oh, ouch.
Okay.
So we got our Kickstarter.
Yes.
We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. Please follow us and subscribe there. We've had, thank you so much for your comments, especially on YouTube. I like to answer them when people ask me questions, and the answer is Libra. So, please, let's have this be a conversation. I think that's really fun. Mm-hmm. We only need 25 more followers, and then we're going to give away an awesome Nord Games deck. And you've seen those decks being used, I think, only in Natural One or in both Chaos Agents?
We've been using them in Chaos Agents as well. We used the treasure deck yesterday, and we got a turtle shell covered in sigils. We're not sure what it does yet. We'll
Turtle shell covered in sigils. And now for an exciting, coming soon announcement. Quests in Chaos is going to be all over Kubla Khan. You're going to see the nice people here. You're going to see Natural One. You're going to see the Chaos Agents. You're going to see more of us than you really want. And I want to invite you. So most people know me as the board game guy. Friday night, we're going to have a game night at Kubla Khan. So I'm going to bring some board games. I guarantee you, no matter who you are, I guarantee you I will bring a game you've never played before.
Ooh.
And so we're going to have games to play. You're going to be able to play with all the folks here. You're going to be able to, maybe we'll have a prize for who can beat Thomas at the most games. It's going to be awesome. And then Saturday, we're doing a live show at Kubla Khan. We're going to record, and do we know what we're going to record? Thomas, we're going to record Thomas.
He's miming.
Chaos Agents. No. We're going to record the Chaos Agents.
Probably Chaos Agents with guests.
And actually, the whole time they're not going to be there. We're just going to have those pins at where they are,
and they'll just voice over it.
There you go.
And it's going to be a live stream. Yeah. So if you've ever wanted to yell an obscenity at one of these people, this is your chance.
I don't blame you. I yell obscenities at myself on the screen all the time.
I'm just going to sit there and heckle D&D the whole time.
Yes.
That's, I'm like, I need a Waldorf for my Statler, but then somebody, so if you don't like D&D like me, come join me there, and we will be there. I want to bring the room down after all that fun just for a minute, and I want to acknowledge that we're playing Masks of Nyarlothotep, which is a campaign that was it's 20 years old, maybe even more. I'm fudging that. It was written, the original version was written along with Chaosium by a gentleman named Larry DiTilio, who came to DundraCon, and he was there. And unfortunately, this week, Mr. DiTilio passed away. He has done tons of gaming stuff. He also was very involved in all sorts of aspects of geek culture. He was super involved with Babylon 5 at the beginning. He did a lot of stuff with, he did a lot of stuff.
I love Babylon 5.
I believe he was the original story editor.
That's correct.
Really?
Yeah. And so he was one of us.
Yeah.
He was of our tribe. This module, even the original version, which was of its time, in various ways, and we've talked about some of those, was a leap forward. It's pretty much acknowledged it's pretty much acknowledged that Masks of Nyarlothotep is the best sort of epic campaign out there, and Larry DiTilio is the main reason why. So we wanna acknowledge a life well lived and just a giant of a geek. And thank you, Mr. DiTilio, for all you've done and all the happiness and lack of sanity you've brought us. We really appreciate it.
We will see you again in a place where no shadows fall.
That's right. He has gone to the Dreamlands. where their cats talk.
Yes.
I also want to acknowledge that there's an empty chair here, but all the stuff is there. Amy is running a little late. She failed her saving throw versus traffic.
Yeah.
And so
That day job thing.
So she will be joining us shortly. But we're going to start in a sort of a different way because we ended last episode with our intrepid band, minus Alexandria, bursting in on the murder of Jackson Elias. And Professor Aldridge appeared to kill one of the people who was involved with this. He fell, like 13 stories down and crashed into a car. She saw the getaway vehicle. She got a license plate.
Yes.
And they were going to check the murder scene right as we did that. But what I want to do first, and I'm doing this partly, because Amy's not here, and you got to be nimble, agile, resilient.
Gotta think on your feet.
That's the word. And I wanna give a shout out. We already have some inspiration. We had one left over from last time. I'll just give that to Amy. Good catch. Wow.
Good job.
But
Nice.
as always, my second favorite streamer, I've learned now to the Baroness has donated 500 bits.
Thank you, Ghislaine.
Only like a couple days ago did I learn that it was the Baroness that was playing in the Star Wars game, that she was the captain. Because you never mention it during the game. And so I was like, I wonder who that person is all this time. And so, that was the Baroness. What?
What?
So Baroness, thank you. And this inspiration is dedicated to Zartan, the worst G.I. Joe villain. He was this bizarre chameleon guy who was terrible in the cartoon, but he had the best action figure because his action figure was like it was plastic, and inside he had this ink or some sort of liquid, and when you squeezed him, he would the liquid would make him change color.
Wow.
It was for the 80s. It was
High tech.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
high tech.
Toys were sad when I was a kid.
It was magic.
I might as well have been playing with one of those hoops and a stick. It was really.
I actually learned how to play jacks when I was a kid, so
All right, there you go.
I'm too young for this.
I made some pretty cool rock castles.
there you go. I did too. Grow up out in the country.
Sai was plugged directly into the internet when she was.
She was plugged into the Matrix from
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I came out of the computer.
I remember when there were no computers. All right, welcome
Actually,
to
vaguely.
the Ezra's Old Hour. So here's where we're going to flash back to. So we're in a pyramid in Peru. You are under a gelatinous mass of fat that seems bottomless,
To go on just forever.
and it's crystal clear. So once you're in there, you see everything around you. Mm-hmm. You're not aware that you're drowning.
Yeah.
You feel nothing.
But I'm drowning.
You're like floating, but you are very aware of two of those little two Francois floating around.
Did you bring Francois?
I did not bring Francois.
Happy Francois!
Rachel's very upset with this. And so, actually, when I told her I forgot it, and she said, Francois had his moment. On to new horrors, is what she said.
Well said. Well said.
So you're acutely aware of them. You're also aware, as you look up, the surface is like a mirror. Mm-hmm. And you look up and you see Professor Aldridge, reaching in. And I believe Jackson Elias also tried to reach in, and then he thought better of it. And you see Bells, grabbing on. Mm-hmm. And conspicuously, and I noted at the time, not a lot of, focused on other things over here. And so you're acutely aware of all that. Mm-hmm. The worm enters your mouth, and you feel, and your reaction, you seal it off, mm-hmm. and now you start to feel something as you feel that burning in your throat. You pierce the surface, and you see her. And all of a sudden, time stops. The second worm that was floating around stops. And you see her eyes go black in a way that will be very familiar to you soon. And all of a sudden, the three of you are standing on an Egyptian pyramid. you are on a plain with an Egyptian pyramid behind you and a pharaoh with ebon skin is standing before you. It looks like black stone, his skin, but it's supple. And he is lounging, on a stone chair in front of this pyramid.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
There you go. Okay.
And am I aware that I was
Not
just
only are
there?
you aware, but currently there's nothing troubling you. You're not, your hands are not at your throat. There's not something awful coming down your throat. And the
Crazy.
I approve.
I'm sorry.
I'll bite my tongue because
No, please
my
don't.
head's so hard to get it right.
I do.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
this face gets a lot of work.
That mildly annoyed, disgusted face. Yeah.
A guy I went to college with called it the Uncle Milty, because Milton Berle used to have a take whenever he was doing his show or something and it wasn't great, he'd go.
It's the look.
Pull out the Uncle Milty every once in a while. All right, so you're both there, and you are aware that you shouldn't be here, that, you are frantically holding on to her waist, like trying to keep her from being completely submerged, and you are the wrong way, waist deep in a pile of goo trying to grab her up.
Yep.
And you were just choking on a worm.
And now I'm
And now
standing
everything's
and
fine.
breathing, and everything's fine.
Yeah. And so, where is the other one?
I look around.
Not the man. The man is dead. He means nothing to me.
You mean Emma?
Yes.
She was holding onto my belt. I don't know.
What are we doing here?
Who are you?
I am your god.
That's not
What?
terribly descriptive.
Yeah.
Please. And
Which
I say
one?
I say in Egyptian to honor him. Your Grace, please forgive me and my companions here, but we must be blinded by your immense glory because we don't recognize you. What is your name?
You should hear the things she says about you in my language.
Saying nice things.
My name is unimportant, and my name would take the sanity from your mind were you to hear it. I am one of the five. I am the greatest of the five.
It's an honor to be in your presence then.
If it's an honor to be in my presence, why have you dedicated yourself to undoing my work?
We didn't realize that's what we were doing. Did you know we were undoing this great deity's work?
No, of course not. Forgive me, I am a little scrambled. The last thing that I remember, I was trying not to die.
You have been given a great gift.
Have I?
Yes, eternal life. The father of maggots only wishes to give you the same gift it is given De Mendoza and those others. Why would you push that gift away?
I don't much fancy losing my mind. As the other
I have
Carcery did.
made it so that you will not lose your mind. Look at De Mendoza. He is fully within his capabilities.
No disrespect, but there were others that were turned that seemed mindless, unlike De Mendoza. De Mendoza did have his consciousness.
Larkin has not talked to those yet.
Oh, I see.
Larkin.
Nice Englishman.
Yes. No, I've. Excuse me. Must have something in my throat.
You will.
Well,
Again, I will ask you my question. It's a very simple one. If you honor and revere me, as you say, why then do you seek to undo my great works?
we didn't understand.
Well, clearly.
We didn't know that you were involved.
You don't even know who I am.
Exactly.
Then how can you be sure that you honor me?
Well, I respect and honor anyone from Egypt that has done such grand, wonderful feats. Haven't you seen?
You know where these grand and wonderful feats come from, don't you? The deaths of thousands of people. Because I will it. Am I so honorable now?
Depends on who you ask. If I were to say no, would you smite me down where I stand? If I were to say yes, would you lift me up and educate me and then let me know what I'm supposed to do?
I'm not a smiting god. I'm a puzzle god. I create systems that will lead to your smiting.
Anywhere in my memory, is it jogging anything in my memory of a god that is kind of a god of puzzles or tricks or?
I mean, there's tons of trickster gods out there.
Yeah.
Not particular. Actually, Egyptian mythology is unique in that there wasn't a trickster god.
Right.
Interesting.
Right.
But why? Oh, she's worn the mask.
Oh, she put that thing on, didn't she?
She has worn the mask. You have not worn the mask.
Should we wear the mask?
Oh, I recommend it.
Okay. Didn't we leave the mask back at the museum?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can do to not get in your way? Or to maybe help?
Go back
you?
to America. Leave this pyramid as you found it. And forget any of this ever happened.
Leave it with the piece of gold missing.
Yes.
Is there something that we can call you? Since I imagine that any god worthy of the name would have something that his followers could call him.
You may call me the Dark Pharaoh.
That works.
He says in ancient Egyptian, make an ancient Egyptian roll.
No. But I didn't quite agree.
So he clearly said Pharaoh, but you don't think the word was dark.
Okay.
You're not 100% sure, but
Okay.
he says, when he says it in ancient Egyptian,
It translates
there's a
as
surge of like, he said words of power.
so it's a true name, if not the true name.
Do I have my notebook on me here?
Sure.
Pull it out and I write down what he said.
All right. It's hard,
It's hard to transliterate.
it's hard to, well, it's hard,
To remember?
no, it's not hard to remember. It's like, but it's hard to, the first word is kind of mushed all together. And you're like, was that a ka or was that a ke?
Right. There are nuances that are.
And, there are, like many languages with a native speaker, there are just tones that their mouth is made to make that you are not. And when you add in the fact that this guy lives on this weird plane where, you have been to Egypt, I'm sure. Have either of you ever been to Egypt?
No.
No.
All right. This is nowhere you know of in Egypt.
That doesn't look familiar.
This pyramid is a lot nicer than it's not as worn. Napoleon has not shot cannons at it. It is in much better shape than.
Does it look like I'm looking at it in the past as it were new? Does it?
You can make. I'll let you choose. You're going to get a little different information either way. You can make an archaeology or a history roll.
Okay. Let's see here. We've got. We'll do archaeology because it's hard.
Archaeology's real good.
Just barely made it.
All right. So, this pyramid is not worn.
Right.
It has not suffered the ravages of time. And B, the stellae around it, the spires around it, are not of any period you recognize, and they are topped with solid gold, which would have been long gone.
Okay, so yeah.
And that realization is going to lead you to a sanity roll because you are nowhere on Earth.
Ooh.
Oh, weird. Oh, how weird.
Interesting. I mean, it
You
makes...
two make a luck. Oh,
I
you two make a
critically
luck roll actually.
Critically made it.
Okay, you
Rolling
lose
a
1
5.
sanity.
I missed.
Made it.
Okay, so you
Didn't fumble, but missed
are, you are attuned in astronomy and that sort of thing, and you are acutely aware that the stars are wrong.
Oh,
Like
boy.
you do not recognize. I mean, you do not recognize
Any of the
any
constellations.
of the yeah.
Anything.
And I mean, admittedly, you would still be able to recognize the sky in Egypt even if you've never been there. You'd
Right.
find the North Star or something like that.
Right.
Nothing.
Weird.
Okay.
Nothing that you recognize. Make me a
Not on
sanity
Earth
roll.
right now.
While you do that, I'm going to break the mood for a moment because
I missed it by 1.
Oh,
Damn it.
you lose 3 sanity.
Oh boy.
Lord.
We have another 500 bits from my favorite starship, NGC 457.
Hey!
And this is in honor of the something in her throat line.
I couldn't
really should.
resist. Hi, Amy.
Wow. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So yeah, he's just lounged there. You're frozen right now. Nothing is happening. You can get yourself. Put that one aside for you.
We knew who to give it to, dear.
And so the Pharaoh says. The Pharaoh looks at sort of looks and he says, "You're starting to understand a little. A little understanding is a powerful thing.
Can be very dangerous.
A lot of understanding is the dangerous thing. I would suggest you stay at a little understanding. I'm going to leave you a reminder of this event. You two will not remember this. But your friend here is going to remember everything that happened.
Okay, we're not on Earth right now. You need to remember that.
The
We
stars are wrong.
completely somewhere else. This is not Earth at all right now.
At all.
It's not our solar system, most likely.
The stars don't match. Nothing. That pyramid doesn't exist on Earth. It never has.
There's no constellations, no North Star, nothing. No Milky Way.
What's so funny?
The best part is they're telling you all of this, and you're listening to them, and then you're never going to speak to them again. And so now we're back in Jackson Elias's hotel room with the murdered corpse. You are not there.
Do you want me
What now?
Do you want me to step out?
Sure. If you, you don't. Neither of you remember anything that happened there.
So don't write it in the book.
So you have just shot the guy. He fell out of the window. You saw him go, and you guys started to search the room to look for stuff.
And while that was happening, I went downstairs to say,
You were
get
going
the police,
down to
get
get-
an
yes.
ambulance. Yeah.
So is this the one time when you're actually going to stay there for when the police arrive?
I plan on staying because I know they heard the shot.
I like you say the one time.
Are you going to remove evidence from the scene?
I'm not. Are you?
I mean, was there anything we found that
So,
was...
I mean, there is the obvious, the mark on his forehead.
Right.
And then if you want to look around, there are certainly some things that are more or less obvious as you do. Go ahead and make spot. You two are in the room. You can make spot hidden rolls.
Yeah.
You're back. Make a
I was
spot
gonna say
hidden
I
roll.
can come back at a certain point in time and just say we're waiting for.
I'm blind
Oh,
apparently.
jeez.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
So you find under the bed is a photo. I'm just gonna, not that you guys can see it. So again, the frickin' H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, this is photo paper. They like photoshopped this actual photo, which when you buy the actual module is kind of, like photo, is a drawing, that sort of thing. But so you find a photo. You also find, let's see here. You find a letter.
We know Jackson and Elias' address now.
And you find a business card and a matchbook. And, if anybody needs matches, the matchbook, it actually
those
has
classy.
matches in
Oh,
it.
that's so cute.
So neither me nor my character knows where this is.
Make me,
I mean, I can
we know?
guess. I mean, what
make
do you
me
Because, like, look at the.
What?
I know.
Ships are
That's
Asian
what I'm saying.
ships.
There's an Asian style ship, but then it looks like.
both of you
That
can
was Singaporean
make
ship.
me intelligence rolls, and let me know if you get a hard success. It's probably
Oh, no,
unlikely.
hard
Emma.
success. Nope, 13 out of 80.
Boom. All right. So that
That's
is
smart.
that is indeed a port in.
Singapore.
Let's see here.
Am I right?
Amsterdam.
Singapore. Maybe. But that's
That is actually, you recognize the tower, the building in the back. You have seen pictures of it in books. That is in Shanghai.
I knew it was Asian. Okay.
Nice roll. So yeah, you recognize that as Shanghai.
All right. With the British ship coming in,
Yeah, because they still were.
the trade. Okay.
They were still in ownership.
You also found a business card.
It says Pharaoh on it.
Oh, the Penhew Foundation.
Oh, and we don't know anything about it.
It's the Penhew Foundation.
And I have a letter from Harvard University.
Okay.
To Mr. Elias, it says, Dear Mr. Elias, the book about which you inquired is no longer in our collection. The information you seek may be found here in other volumes. If you will contact me upon arrival, I will be most happy to further assist you. Miriam Altright, Harvard University Library. It's from November 7th, 1924.
So that is
Last year.
that is a couple months ago because it's January.
A few months.
It's January 25 right now.
Harvard, and it's Miriam.
I need to know if you are keeping any of these things.
I want to keep the letter.
Keep the letter.
Okay.
And then,
Photograph.
So you have worked with the police before as a private investigator. You know that everything here will go in an evidence box,
Yep, and
and
we
it
can't
will
get it
be
back.
very difficult for you to find any of this stuff.
Unless you got a little coin.
Okay.
all right, let's just take everything.
All right, so you're taking everything?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody,
Can I see that?
everybody make. Oh wait, you rolled like a 1, right? All right, so you also find
Stumbling
that.
Tiger in
Ooh,
Shanghai.
hey, that looks like my new tattoo.
That is a very cool tattoo.
Thanks. Shanghai Fun and Friends. 10 Lantern, Street.
Yeah. I'm going to the Stumbling Tiger.
10
We're just leaving for Shanghai.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sounds
Jackson
like
Elias.
Sounds like a great place.
Heck yeah.
Oh, and one more thing that you will end up getting from the police, but here, and sorry, I hope no one is squeamish or anything like that. But here's a picture of dead Jackson Elias with the mark on his forehead,
Not bad.
which you guys get to keep.
Wasn't he also kind of thanks? The one
love
thing.
it.
That'll be a memento.
Jackson got tan.
That's a beautiful marking.
And so,
Penhew Foundation.
about 5 minutes after you've been casing the joint, 2 police officers in uniform come in the room. One of them has a pistol drawn, and as soon as they see the body, they're like, "What's going on here?"
That's what we're trying to figure out. This is our friend, and there was a guy that just jumped out the window. I tried stopping him, but he got away.
They go and they look down the window, and there's a car there that has been like crunched where the guy landed.
Like, two people dragged his body off and threw into a car.
Did you get a license plate?
I got a partial license plate.
Okay, you give them the number.
Yeah.
But
I don't. I
right, you go.
don't give the last two
you give them.
numbers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They start to. They say the lieutenant is going to be here soon. We're going to ask none of you please don't leave, and please don't touch anything. Everybody make me a luck roll. Let's see if you were touching anything when they came in.
Nope. I just stuffed everything in my bra.
7. Oh no, that's my sand. Never mind. Oh, that's worse. Yeah, 71. My
So
luck is
nobody
like 40.
made the luck roll?
I didn't.
I
know
did.
it.
Oh, you both made it. All
I
right.
didn't.
I didn't.
Okay.
Was I like?
Yeah. So you were like reading that business card.
Okay.
And when the police officer says, "Ma'am, could you put that down?
Okay.
This is a crime scene." So that business card comes back to me.
Okay.
Good thing I wrote it down.
Yeah, no kidding.
And there's a very uncomfortable 10 minutes. The police officers you're standing in a room with a
Dead Jackson Elias.
dead Jackson Elias, two police officers who are studiously not looking at the dead body, kind of like one's a little queasy and he like goes to watch the door. You guys picked the lock or kicked the door open? I can't remember
We
which.
did pick the lock.
You
Yeah.
had picked the lock. All right. So he's examining the door, and in walks a much like me, a very dad bod sort of man that is a New York. He introduces himself as Lieutenant Martin Poole,
Okay.
NYPD, and he asks. He first he very politely introduces himself to you guys, and then he immediately starts peppering the officers with questions. And it's like this fast-paced bam, bam, bam kind of thing. He's like, all right, and why were you all here?
I was coming here to meet our friend who's splayed out on the table.
And who is this?
Jackson Elias.
Jackson Elias.
He's a writer.
Who? You saw who did this?
I saw a gentleman, and he hopped out of this window, and if you look, and I point out the car that smashed in,
Do you describe the guy?
I describe the guy, and I also tell him that he got dragged away and shoved into a car.
Did you get a license plate?
I already gave it to the police officers. What I could get, I got.
If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to give it to me.
Sure, and I give him all but the last two.
Okay, still the partial. All right. Does Mr. Elias have any enemies or anything I should know about?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I know. He's just a writer.
Yeah.
And he likes going on these, like, wonderful investigations for his material.
So that's not technically a lie, but you know he has enemies.
Do I?
just don't
I
know
mean,
who they
besides
are.
me.
I mean,
I don't really know who they are. Larkin's dead, so.
Yeah.
he spent his entire life studying death cults,
Sure.
and he was threatened a lot. He was.
Mendoza's alive, isn't he?
So I'll rephrase it. He might have some enemies, but I don't know who they would be.
No, he never mentioned anything
never-
to me.
You would probably have to read his
How do you know
books.
him?
He's a writer. We went on a
We were
expedition together.
We met him on a boat.
That's right.
originally.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we were coming over from London. And we
yeah.
met him on a boat.
He liked cheesecake.
Yeah, he did. Ate a lot of cheesecake. Aren't you writing that down?
Do you know him?
No,
I
I,
do.
don't. And then I was like, please don't make me remember any of my characters' details right now. I'm
trying to look through my
Hang on,
notebook
hold
really
on.
No, you've never met.
No. And I don't know if I necessarily, it depends on how, I'll say that.
And he pulls up this card. Does this mean anything to you? The Penhew Foundation?
Never heard of it.
Isn't it in the
Yeah, it was in
newspaper?
it was in the newspaper about some expedition, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
yeah.
a Cairo expedition.
Something about Egypt.
Do you live in New York?
I don't.
I travel between here and London.
I teach at the Princeton University.
Well, do me a favor and please give your contact information to the officer, and if you hear anything about this case, please let me know. We want to try and solve this.
Absolutely.
And
Will you make sure that if you find out where the assailant is off to? I mean, this is our friend here. This is horrible. I don't.
why do you want to know where the person that killed him
I
went?
want to know. I want to know that you've apprehended him.
That's a very different question than the one you asked.
I'm sorry.
We're
sir.
just in shock. I mean, we're seeing our friend mutilated on
He
a
is
bed. It's very difficult to.
apart.
Well, I mean, the murderer doesn't often call the cops, so I'm not saying you're suspects. But I am saying I don't think I'm getting the whole story here.
Well, I don't understand what story there is. I mean,
Why were you coming to see him?
he invited us for drinks, and he didn't show up, so we thought we'd come and knock on his door, and
Find out what happened.
yeah,
We haven't seen him in a long time. It's the last time we saw Jackson.
I don't know.
A few years ago.
Years ago.
Seriously, I don't know.
5 years ago.
Hang on, let me look at my notes. I don't know.
You're like,
But I'm like, I
let me
don't
check my calendar. Well, like I said, please give the officer your contact information.
We do want to cooperate with you, sir. I'm sorry if we've set off your alarms of distrust, but we really are just shocked that, I mean, I can't believe that he's torn up like this, and there's a mark on his head, and what is that all about? And the guy jumped out of the window, and then two guys picked his body up and dragged him away.
Everybody makes spot
It's
hidden.
so
Actually,
weird.
make psychology rolls.
So weird, right?
Made it.
Wait, a what?
Psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah, I've got none of
We got
that.
some points
I rolled
on
pretty
that.
good for not having anything, but no.
Ooh, I made it by 2.
Anybody who made it, when she mentions the mark on his forehead, there's a clear reaction on his face. Like, he's seen that before.
I mean, who would do anything like that? And
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
have you ever seen anything like this before? I turned to him. I've never seen anything like this before. Not
Is it a
like
serial
that.
killer loose in New York?
I mean, that's kind of what it looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Ladies.
Should we be afraid for our lives? Like, if somebody else is going to come
it's
after
New
us?
York. You should always be afraid for it. Ladies,
I stick my hand in my pocket.
who fired the shot? He points at the bullet hole in the frame.
I did.
So you're carrying.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do me a favor and put that on that dresser there?
I unclick it.
It was the safety was off. He notes that. He wasn't shot, clearly, so I'm not so concerned. But we don't like just every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I know what you're looking for. I just remembered. I recognized the guy that was in here from a long time ago. He was a guy that threatened us. Remember?
No,
This guy came to
years
our
ago.
room at our hotel and threatened us, and that's why I fired the shot. He got out the window.
So just to be clear again, you're not telling the actual story. Okay.
Just what I'm saying.
All right. Woo-hoo. He rolled a 98. He doesn't care.
yeah, he's like, that's nice. Like,
That is terrible. Oh my God. So he threatened you
Yes.
5 years ago,
all of us. We were all
of
eating.
us.
I think we were
and
eating
Mr.
dinner.
Elias.
Yeah, we
Mr.
were having
Elias.
dinner.
Yes, we were eating tacos. It was a
All right, he rolled so badly that, yeah. Well, all right, look, ladies, since you're being candid with me, I will be candid with you. There have been a number of murders that have had this MO with the mark on the forehead. And we had a suspect that we apprehended about 3 weeks ago for these murders, who is currently in prison, in holding. And I mean, I'm starting to think we don't have our man.
Yeah.
Who were the other people? I mean, how do you think that they're connected? I mean,
Well, I don't know.
I haven't heard about this in the newspaper or anything, and so I don't like. And I mean, Jackson Elias, I'm sure he knows a lot of people, but
Yeah.
he didn't mention anything.
So
when he said,
we
"Come
were
have
not able to
drinks."
find. There was no clear connection between any of the victims. They were all folks who were involved with unsavory characters, but
Okay.
not in any connected way.
It's got to.
And I don't know this Mr. Elias, but I wouldn't be surprised if we find that to be true. But you said there were 3 of them. And so I'm starting to wonder who the guy we have in prison is and what his deal.
Yeah, it's good thinking. Well, if we hear of anything or see anything or if anything happens that's remotely important, we'll let you know.
Yeah, all right. Well, I appreciate that.
And I asked for his business card.
Sure, yeah. He gives you his business card. It has a direct number to it's actually to an answering service.
Okay.
So like you call and you leave a message
Yeah.
with an NYPD pool secretary who will get it to him. He
Not so good at sketching, but and I turned to him. I mean, I really don't want to look at my friend this way, but I kind of want to get. Do you have a drawing of this mark? I'm an archaeologist. I do a lot of symbol stuff.
I tell you what,
Maybe I could help.
I will make sure that you get we're going to have a photographer up here shortly, and we'll take photographs of the crime scene, and I'll make sure you get a photo of the mark.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Such a shame. He's such a good.
Fun guy.
Yeah. He meant well too. I love the cilantro thing. That's so good. Gonna miss him. We gotta make sure we get some cilantro for when.
And some
Memorial.
cheesecake.
And
Yeah.
some cheesecake. Absolutely. some
cheesecake.
cheesecake.
It's going to be the worst wake ever. Cilantro cheesecake.
Yeah.
Ew. It'll be just a garnish.
Just the garnish.
So he again he'll say like don't leave the area. We may need to talk with you further, and then he's gonna then you'll be shown out. He returns your gun to you, and he suggests you not leave the safety on at all
Just
times.
Because of what had happened, I was a little on edge.
Yeah.
But you are right, sir. I will be more careful.
Officially, the New York Police Department takes a very dim view of citizens carrying around firearms, just so you know.
I understand.
All right, so
Jackson, I need a drink. I don't know about you guys. I need a
Yeah.
drink.
head to the hotel bar.
Yep. And I'm going to ask the concierge to use the phone.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm going to call my brother Frank, who's a police officer.
Aha, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask Frankie to do me a solid.
All right, what do you need?
So I'm going to ask Frank, I'm going to give him the cops' information, and what I'm going to ask him is, who are the other murder victims?
Okay.
Tell him about the symbol on the head, and then ask him, who did Frank arrest 3 weeks ago for murder?
Okay.
Or
Well,
not Frank, I'm sorry. What was
Who
his
did
name
they
again?
pool?
Yeah, Martin Poole.
Okay. Is Frank an NYPD officer?
Yeah.
Okay.
We live in Lower East Side
There you go.
of Houston.
I like it. Don't call it Houston Street.
Yeah.
I get really mad about
Yeah.
that. Really confuses a young Texan, let me tell you.
So when
I'm
do you
looking
guys
for
want me
Houston
to
Street.
like channel Jackson Elias' spirit and
know.
ask him questions?
I don't know.
Because I can do that.
Yes, she can. So, you are all acutely aware that it's been 5 years since you've talked to Alexandra, and you have, you feel like you should be the ones to tell her that Elias is dead.
Okay.
And you know that she has an apartment in Manhattan, but you also know that you've tried to, 5 years ago, several of you went to check up on her, and
She said, "Go away."
there was a lot of go away.
Yeah.
1,000,000 times.
So let's bring Tiana back in.
Oh,
Now we'll
I reckon.
Those calls are coming from in the house.
I was trying so hard not to laugh back there.
I thought you left.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
No, I was sitting behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to the woman.
That's right.
Like you should have just started doing this on the back of the I know. Like, oh, this is Ghost of Jackson Elias.
I'm waiting for the
We should
seance
have done
scene.
that. You should have done the seance. And you should have been like,
Yeah, with the lieutenant there. Yeah.
Jackson Elias.
That would not have gone well.
That would have been entertaining at least.
So you are in a 3-story walk-up. You don't go out a whole lot. The joy of New York is people will pretty much bring, even in the 20s, people will bring you whatever, you want. So you have errand boys bring you groceries and stuff like that. Do you work at all?
Yes.
Okay. The second job.
Yes.
Okay, still. All right.
It's nice to get frustrations out now and again.
All right. So it is a January morning. It's cold, but it's not, there's no snow or anything like that. It's just crisp and cold. And in that afternoon, your bell rings, your doorbell.
And I'm not expecting a delivery or anything.
Make a luck roll. Let's see.
No.
Oh, so yeah, some groceries were on the way.
All right. So I'm going to go and open the door.
It's the 3 of them.
I'm standing behind her.
I'm standing there.
Hi, friend.
Step back, slam the door.
I palm it.
All right, let's make opposed strength rolls. So you guys roll and you roll, and let's see who gets the better success.
Nope.
Yep.
All right, so she gets a foot in the door.
Please don't be mad. We have very important news to tell you. Please let us come in. Something has happened. Something really bad has happened. Let us in, please. Please. I know you don't want to see us. I know you don't want anything to do with us, but you need to hear this.
And after a moment, I just step back and let the door fall open as I turn away, just crossing my arms.
Jackson Elias is dead.
You could have been nicer about that.
Tact.
Wow.
We'll talk about that
Band-Aid
later.
has been ripped off.
Yes, she's not kidding.
Oh.
Sorry, he was murdered.
He wasn't.
He was.
Can we come inside?
We were already inside.
Yeah, she
we
let
already
you in.
pushed through. Yeah.
Come in.
I have no bedside manners.
So I've gathered. Hi.
Hi.
Like gruesome murder, not just like
We have photos.
punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Why do you have photos of a murder scene?
Long story.
Because he was carved in the face with a sigil or symbol of some kind.
We haven't seen her in 5 years, and you're just laying this on her. It's kind of like a huge, heavy bomb. You gotta
Let
be
me
able-
go put the kettle on.
I would love some tea.
Murder makes me thirsty.
Once upon a time, I was taught the
I can
nicer.
barely even talk.
Sorry, what?
She just
turning
needs to
to her.
listen.
My ears still work just fine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. It's good to see you, Alexandria.
It's been a long time.
It has been. We're sorry to come with such bad news, but we didn't want you to read it in a paper.
Or worse,
Or-
not even read it.
Yeah, not know. He was a good friend. He'd actually, I don't know if you got the telegram, but we all got
You did. The telegram saying meet me at the hotel.
And I sort of glance over at the table where the telegram's sitting.
Was it opened?
Yes.
Okay. We don't blame you for not coming. But if you'd... It was the guy from Peru.
What guy from Peru?
The guy that threatened us while we were
Bob
eating
Smith
tacos.
or whatever his name was.
The guy that wouldn't give his name. He would never give a name.
She was in a coma when that happened.
What?
We were having tacos. You were unconscious.
And that
there was
was a long span of time in there where
Yes.
that was the case.
You were unconscious, we ate tacos. It happens.
You blame me for my bedside manner?
Emma's bedside manner is kind of terrible.
I forgot she was in a coma.
Me too. I thought we were all having tacos.
Who's the stuff going
Nope,
in?
I was not
There
there.
was a lot of tacos in Peru. I don't know anymore.
Dude, it was the Pica de Gaia.
Oh, delicious.
As you do. So, what man came and threatened you while you were eating? What happened?
We were being followed. We were in Peru. You were asleep. We were with Jackson. This guy came through the door. Yes, Mr. Hughes. He came in. He wouldn't give us his name. He just said, you need to leave town right away. And he was being really pushy and insistent. And we decided to follow him to his hotel room, which
And then we were pushy and insistent.
we were very pushy and insistent. And
Isn't
I go like
Professor
this.
almost
and
died.
I show the.
Yeah, she's got a huge scar.
Huge.
That looks like an
multiple scars
animal raked
that
her.
raped me. I'm like, I paid for it dearly. I almost died. That was really stupid of me to do it. But anyways, there was this creature in there. It was like a parrot shark thing with these
Demon parrot
rabbit
shark.
Okay.
And we survived that, and this guy, out of nowhere, 5 years later, is seen in this room, in Jackson Elias's room, and Jackson Elias is splayed out with the ritual marks on his head, and the guy's jumping out the window, and I shot him, he fell, and two guys, like they knew, like it was planned, two guys just came out of nowhere with a car and grabbed his body, and vanished.
Roll me your new skill.
No.
Okay. That mark seems familiar, or it seems significant at the least.
Okay.
And I know this is a lot to put on you, but
The kettle whistles and I go over and start making tea, just busying myself with something.
I'm gonna take all the evidence that we stole off the table and put it on the table.
Just like spread it out on the
yeah,
table.
here we go.
They're beautiful minding it, like yarn.
I come back and I give teacups to everyone and just
Here's evidence.
Here's evidence.
Of what? That he killed Jackson Elias? No, this is what we found in Jackson's room. I mean, he called us to have drinks with him, and he obviously, not obviously, but I would suspect he'd want to show us this information.
So
remind me what was in the telegram.
You remember a lot of stuff about the Carlisle expedition.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the exposition that we got last time,
Yes.
You would have gotten from the newspaper as well.
Because I was a shut-in for a couple of years.
Yes. So sort of some things about the Carlisle Foundation and, the name. Oh, you don't have this one, but they mention the Edward Gavigan connection.
and you actually wrote down the information on that one too about something
Yes, the
Pharaoh.
Penhew Foundation, and I
Penhew,
wrote the symbols down too.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Good for you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Do any of the symbols
Director
look
is
familiar?
Edward Gavigan.
They do look familiar.
Do they remind me of the dream?
Yes.
I just sit there sort of staring at them for a moment.
So you show her the drawing.
show her
yeah.
all of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here.
I'll make you make an art roll. They look like
100.
blobs.
It's actually quite good.
Thanks. I art good.
You do art good. These look familiar.
Familiar.
Yes.
Where have you seen them?
You don't remember. He said you wouldn't. It
what?
said you wouldn't, whatever it is. Excuse me.
By the way, You probably don't want to hear this, but I mean it with all sincerity. You're totally awesome for keeping yourself alive the way you did. I commend you. It took much strength and willpower for you to do what you did, and you survived. And I know you might hate what you've lived over the last 5 years, but I'm here to tell you, you have an amazing will and courage, and I totally respect you for that. So please don't. We have to do something about Jackson. That's why we're here. We're not trying to turn your life upside down again or put you through hell, but I can't.
We need you.
We need you, and I can't just let this happen. And with what?
Like, we tried to be you, and the professor almost died.
I'm not who I was 5 years ago.
No, you're better.
No, I'm not. I'm weaker. A lot weaker.
That which does not kill us makes us stronger.
And destroys everything in its wake.
It can, if you let it, or rise above it. Do it with friends. Don't do it alone. We're here.
That's easy for you to say. You didn't lose your career. You didn't lose everything that you've worked for since you were about yay tall.
You didn't lose your skills. And I look at you. Or your wit. Or your will to survive and thrive.
I couldn't talk for 2 years. At all. The fact that I have my voice now is because I'm too damn stubborn.
Exactly. Exactly. They didn't take your dignity. I step away. I start wandering and looking
Sips
for
tea.
alcohol, if you have any.
I know.
Oh yes, there's
You're not
alcohol.
Like, this is amazing.
I walk over to the alcohol.
There's some very good scotch.
I go, may I?
Help yourself. It was a gift from a friend. He knows more about scotch than I do. He says it's good.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
A little too early for hottie toddies, but
Wow. I don't know if I can go running back into strangeness. But I recognize those symbols.
Look, Alexandra, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. And I know that you don't want to be involved, but I feel that there is a potential that, and his name is Bob Smith. I swear to God, his name is Bob Smith.
If it's not, it's going to be.
Yeah. Jackson Elias called us for a reason, and he ended up like this. This gentleman was from Peru and followed Jackson Elias here. I'm very concerned that he knows who we are.
already.
And if we don't face it head on, he will find us regardless. So we can either be ill-prepared and stick our heads in the sand and hide from it, or go after him.
If we step away, we might not be involved anymore. We might not be in its way anymore.
But you already have a target on your back.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If we just let it happen, whatever it is, we won't have the target, no more so than the rest of the world, just because we know a few extra things.
I keep sipping my tea.
Scotch, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
both.
It's fine.
Nice.
Probably more scotch right now than tea.
Ugh, Scotch tea?
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
It's one of those days. It's Earl Grey, at least. It's not that bad.
Earl Grey hot?
Yes.
When we really don't remember the Dark Pharaoh.
What?
Dark Pharaoh. Do I start trying to think of something.
No.
I've never heard of such a thing, and I'm an expert on Egyptology.
You might not remember this. You told me that we weren't in our world. So I guess your Egyptology wouldn't. I should back up.
What? Where were we?
Right. This is going to sound crazy, but we're already in that realm, I suppose.
Yeah, I talk to dead people. We're good.
And I saw someone who shouldn't exist. And I remember it, and you two were there, but you don't remember. He said you wouldn't, and I suppose that makes sense. He said he was a god. And when I was indisposed, caught, the goo, that...
Wait, when you were under? I remember seeing something. It was weird.
What? What did you see?
I was like I was in two places, but that's all I really remember. It didn't feel right when I was like I could breathe under that goo too. It was very strange. I mean, I could see you too, but it was like we were somewhere else.
We were
Like
hovering in the air, it seemed. It was all crystal clear, and the worm tried to go down my throat, and I... And then we weren't there anymore. We weren't in the goo. We weren't in Peru. Yeah, that rhymed. Yeah, look at that. We weren't anywhere that I recognized, and you said that it wasn't anywhere on Earth. And you don't remember it.
not on Earth.
Not on Earth, but it was a pyramid. With the
Stellae.
stellae in front with gold, and someone who looked like a living obsidian statue. He called himself the Dark Pharaoh because he said that his actual name would drive us insane. Which, fair enough.
Is this ringing any bells?
Nope.
Of course not.
I'll save you the effort. It won't.
And those symbols were there. They were part of it. So whatever the Dark Pharaoh is or was, those symbols have to do with him. And I don't know who he is exactly. I mean, I don't know anything about Egyptology, and you do, and you don't recognize the name.
Well, if everything you say is true, I'm taking a scientific approach here. If everything you say is true, then I wouldn't know anything about it because it's not from this world.
But he referenced himself as a god, one of the five.
One of the five.
He didn't say who the others were.
Do I know
The
that?
whole bloody tongue called five, like, maggot king.
Right, right.
Maggot King? Oh, he mentioned that. Yes, possibly.
So the Larkin, before he died, mentioned there were five
Incarnations
five
of
visages, and the other than the father of maggots.
He was surprised and perhaps upset that I was trying so hard to not take in the worm, to not accept his gift.
So he's a crazy person. Got it.
I mean, aren't we?
True.
At the end of
A
the
little mad around here.
Alice in Wonderland. Good quote.
You're important to this. I'm trying to figure it out. And how can we lay a low profile if there's a god that, I mean, gods know everything. So
All he said on the subject was get out of his way.
get out of his way.
So we're gonna be in his way.
That's a bad idea.
So let me get this straight. We've rocked the boat enough to get the hold of an extraplanial creature that calls himself a god,
That's not
aka
a
the Dark Pharaoh. Does that sound about right?
That's not a
pretty
good
much a bad
thing.
guy.
Sorry, what?
He's pretty much a bad guy, and I think we're already in his way. So
We were. And then we left Peru, and now we're here. And none of us have been bothered in 5 years.
Until now.
Oh no.
What was Jackson Elias doing that got him back in the way?
We have all of these clues. Harvard University and Shanghai. Where do you want to go first?
And there's the Cairo part.
And a place in New York.
Yeah, and the
We've also got
Mayhew.
the
That's right.
That's right.
And is there anything that connects it to the Carlisle expedition? I don't remember.
What is that?
There's an interesting name on the back of this. Silas in Kuan.
Silas Inquana?
Queen.
Inquin? Inquin.
In Quin. Yeah.
I can't pronounce apostrophes.
not anything that really connects. Well,
would
Edward
be-
Gavigan
Yeah, I
connects
was about
to
to say,
the
yeah,
to the because he was a
director
member
had
of the
to-
Carlisle
Yep.
expedition.
It's also the director of the Penhu.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
You said two things. Make me an intelligence roll. That
Yes.
okay. So A, remember she wasn't there
For
for the pharaoh.
correct.
And
I have no idea what you guys
B,
are talking about.
They don't either, to be fair.
Yeah.
and B, the pharaoh said Jackson was dead.
That's right. When did Jackson die?
What time is it?
Like 4 hours ago?
A few hours ago.
That doesn't make sense.
What?
What doesn't make sense?
The Dark Pharaoh said that Jackson Elias was dead. He was looking for you. You weren't there.
He said that 5 years ago?
5 years ago when I was
And it's
there.
almost
So he's,
that I'm supposed to remember.
so he's extraterrestrial and time doesn't make sense. Okay, so time isn't linear for him. That makes sense.
Yes, when he, I don't know, called us there.
Did he say why she wasn't there?
Oh, yes, he did. He said that she put on the mask. And we hadn't yet.
So you're safe.
So I have no idea what any of that means.
The gold thing that
Yeah, I
was-
mean, I remember the mask,
I don't know.
and I'm just kind of trying to remember what.
I don't
that
know
was.
why that's important.
Me neither. That
Did you
makes.
You had
feel
some
anything?
visions.
Yeah.
I don't even know how this works, but I'm going to take a leap in logic here. You put on the mask.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously likes the mask, and those that put it on, I guess, connects him to that. So maybe you're safe. Maybe you've been imbued with magic,
Or the other.
I'm like, psst, psst,
That's not how it works.
okay. Does
Or
it just shoot out of my fingers?
It's
and
the
I'm
other way
like,
around.
or it's already tainted her.
Maybe,
You have to
maybe,
memorize.
yeah.
Or, you know,
maybe,
affected
maybe
her.
it's the other way around. That the mask, that he
Protects.
No, that he brought no, that the mask. It may have been that you didn't need to be persuaded because you'd put on the mask.
Maybe it's like the
Persuaded to
like
do
the tongue.
what? I'm
Like the
thoroughly confused what I would be persuaded to do.
What did you see when you put the thing on?
What did you feel?
I know, I'm asking things that Emma deliberately forgot.
Yeah, kinda.
You want some scotch? Nice. Slide the bottle across the table.
Look, Emma, if I can make myself remember shit that happened when I was trying to
She doesn't
choke
even want
myself
us
to
here.
death.
I'm like, hang on, hold on, let me think about this real hard. Okay, so I'm gonna do this kind of without this, kind of just to make it more from a memory. So when I put the mask on, it was very much like I was here, and then I was there, and then I was in another place, and so some of the things that I saw or that were shown to me was what turned out, I think, to be the pyramid that we were at, but it was like a very high level, like way up high view, and there was like a lot of ritual sacrifice. I'm talking like people were about the size of like ants or whatever, and it was just everywhere, and everything was covered with blood, and it was just kind of chaotic. And then I remember the next thing that I saw was like we were on a train, or I was on a train in the desert. And
Any
then
particular desert?
I don't know, I'm in like
Did
a
you see a
desert.
pyramid?
No, it was just the desert, just traveling through the desert.
Are there trains through the desert in Egypt near the pyramids?
Oh, it's
I haven't been.
It's
Yeah.
a fair. I mean,
Yeah, I would suspect that you
it's a
get from
fair guess.
A to B
Yeah.
in a desert. Let me see if there's anything else I want to remember. Because honestly, right now my memory is just I don't know.
I mean, you just got off work, so.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I can barely remember.
I can just run through the visions.
I
really
was like,
quick if
I
you want.
could, but I'm kind of like, do I remember? Okay, and then the other one was God, my handwriting's terrible. What the hell's a black pet? It's a black pit. Never mind. Yeah, because then I remember I had some sort of like, what were we doing in Peru? Where I was like, oh, the red rock.
Red rock.
Because there was a red rock next to a black pit, which I'm assuming that black pit was the pit where all of the bodies were when we were there.
Either the bodies or the
We also
goop.
stored our food and put a red rock over it.
That's why when I said that it was the red rock, I was like, oh, it's the red rock. And that there were tentacles coming out of like the sun or something. I don't know. And then like the sun had turned black. It was just weird. It was the weirdest of weird.
Let's see if we can put this together.
So-
You're getting visions?
Just when I put the mask on. And remember, I didn't feel good. I thought I fainted.
And did you feel like you were in another dimension?
No, because
It was just
I
a
assumed
vision.
it was-
Because I don't know what that feels
Yeah,
like.
exactly. No.
Why did you put the mask on?
Why not?
That might be it.
When somebody's like, would you like an hors d'oeuvre? What do you do?
You're like, sure, I'll try.
Would you like a gold ring? What do? You take that ring.
I mean, I'd ask if it's cursed first.
Depends on if they're
Like an hors d'oeuvre. Would you like an hors d'oeuvre that will rob you of your sanity?
Here, have this one. It'll taste delicious.
If it has cheese, yes.
Yum.
Oh my god.
Like, did it call out to you to put it
Psychic
on? Or you were just
canapé.
No. I mean, it's like trying a piece of jewelry on. You're just like, this is cool. There it is.
like, now I'm invisible.
Interesting.
If it worked like that, that'd be super cool. Yeah, so I was just curious. And so I put it on. I just put it to my face, and then I saw things that were earthly. It wasn't like I was anyplace else. It was weird because I was flying or I was on a train or whatever, but I was still me and I was still here.
And I was still me, but I was somewhere else. And I went from probably drowning with a thing going down my throat to standing in front of this living obsidian statue with you two.
There's two ways to look at that. Is everything that we've experienced is real?
Yes.
And
Let's
that
just
we've-
assume it is.
I'm just saying, there's two ways to look at it. Everything we've seen is real, or everything that we've seen is not real and they're hallucinations because we've been so close to death so many times.
Yeah.
No, they're
I
real.
mean, and there
I'll just
could
be
be
the Jackson Elias of this week now.
It's real. They're vampires.
They're real.
There is an opening.
blah, blah, blah. I do not say blah, blah, blah.
Blood. I love that movie.
Well, if we look at it this way, we have a god. You're talking about visions of ritual
Small
sacrifice.
g.
God.
Let's small
Yes,
g
it's
this.
Small
The
G.
Catholic is very.
Right? I've never even heard of the Dark Pharaoh, and I know.
But there are
Egypt
so
tells you
many,
back
I
and
mean,
forth.
just what you were telling me is that there are so many pharaohs that you don't know. You know what I mean? That tombs haven't been discovered, names have been erased off cartouches, so it's not like you know every pharaoh in every order.
But I know every
forever.
god there is, every worshipped god, even some
But what if it's a
deity.
pharaoh with a god complex?
That's
They all
still
had
alive.
that. They all had that, though. That's the thing. They all had that.
Because
Some
they
said
were
that
all
they were-
technically gods.
Yeah.
Yes, they were possessed by the divine. That's the way the Egyptians believed. All their gods were made flesh. The deities came down and embodied them and channeled through them, used them as vessels. So the way that part of the reason why I wasn't really that disturbed by the tongue that was on Larkin's belly is because that's something that they do. People will get marked for as vessels for the divine. It was an ancient practice that they do all the time. Anubis followers do these types of things as well. In fact, you were saying obsidian, that's very Anubian.
Larkin, is he still alive?
No.
Are you sure?
It's like Mendoza.
I'm pretty sure just like Mendoza's not alive anymore either.
Oh, is he?
He's
I
kaput.
missed a few things,
The
let's say.
gold bar was put back, the pyramid saying.
Did I see him like strangling in the in the pit because Mendoza was down below dragging Octavia down?
Sure.
Did I see that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
And you saw
Mendoza.
Dane Mendoza, like, yeah.
So Mendoza I know of, but Larkin not so much.
Larkin, actually, oddly enough, Jackson Elias was acting weird after he took care of Larkin. Remember, he took Larkin back away from the pyramid, and he was keeping an eye on him because Larkin didn't want to go downstairs, and neither did Jackson because it smelled bad.
It did smell bad.
It did smell
to be
bad.
fair.
It was horrible. I got sick several times. Ugh. Still can almost remember the taste, even though it was 5 years ago.
Oh, believe me, that taste never leaves my mouth.
I don't know this, right? I just want to confirm with you guys that I don't know that Larkin went crazy and was like, "You're going to do this."
That's right. You never saw the Larkin.
It was, yeah. You
We
guys
were
were
together,
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see the black
Yeah.
eyes and the
Yeah.
spells and
I
stuff like
saw-
that.
Yeah, so I started talking
So what?
about that. I'm like,
So wait a minute. So then, what happened to Larkin? Did somebody shoot him?
Two
Several
guesses.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, did somebody shoot him?
Two guesses. First one doesn't count.
several times. Well, I apparently was he was doing. I went to talk to Larkin. We were having a conversation. Everything was fine. His eyes turned black, and then he started trying to I felt his will trying to dominate me and make me blow up the pyramid. He wanted me to blow it up, and I went, no, resist, willpower.
Two critical successes.
I laughed so hard when I saw that. The look on your face, you were
like,
so angry.
So if Egyptian gods use humans as vessels and Larkin was a vessel, could the Larkin be possessed with that Dark Pharaoh person trying to possess you?
It makes sense.
I think he was possessed with the King of Maggots guy, and I don't know if they're one and the same. I don't think so.
What did the Dark Pharaoh say to me about Larkin? I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute.
Useless fool. You failed me the last time.
He said let Larkin do his thing, and that Larkin made the Karasiri intelligent.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, Larkin was attached to the Karasiri pretty tightly, from what the Dark Pharaoh was saying. That he was the one who made the Karasiri intelligent. It was part of why he was so annoyed that I wasn't accepting the gift of becoming a Karasiri.
That ain't no gift. I would say return it.
Full refund, please.
Yes. Gift receipt.
Something.
Because one of my objections, of course, besides everything, was becoming a mindless, hungering beast, and he said that Larkin has made it so that they aren't. So, and he referred to it as his gift.
His gift. See? All right, so we have an extra dimensional
I
creature.
think he said our gift.
Did he?
And if he didn't, he should have.
Okay, our gift.
Are you gonna
then.
yell at him or just scold him later?
Because of the 5, right?
Yeah.
The hour, maybe.
Maybe.
Father,
The first
Son,
one.
Holy Ghost, Father of Maggots.
That's how it works,
Not
right?
quite sure that's how that works, but sure.
Son of tentacles.
Oh boy.
Father of maggots, son of tentacles.
Our new god.
It's gonna go down a road I don't like. We've received 2 anonymous
Yay.
inspirations.
You mean from the person anonymous or just anonymously?
The infamous hacker group Anonymous
Yeah.
has
Cool.
in their never-ending. It's
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
We have to say thank you in Russian. Spasiba.
Спасибо. Большое спасибо.
Yeah. And at this time, your doorbell rings.
Well, we got teleported to my house.
Somehow.
Now we're drinking really good scotch.
Excellent.
And A, your groceries get here.
Yay.
And B, a telegram is delivered to you. And it is an invitation to the funeral of Jackson Elias, which will take place in 2 days on the 17th.
Can I just look at it?
You'll all receive the same telegram at the address at your home address or your wherever you. Those of you who live in New York will receive it. There.
Fold it up very carefully and put it on the table.
Who's friendly enough to plan his funeral?
Wait a minute. Who's friendly enough and knows that you know him?
Oh, the telegram is from someone named Jonah Kensington.
Kensington.
Does it look official, like his estate, or does it?
It's just a Western Union telegram. So.
Okay.
But it's signed Jonah Kensington.
Okay.
And it's addressed to friends of Jackson Elias.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
In the 1920s, it was often cheaper to send telegrams about this sort of stuff than it was to send letters or even call, because not everyone had a phone. And I think there we're going to go to break before the funeral.
Cool.
Oh.
Time flies when you're dealing with emotional scars.
As you do. As you do.
So we're going to go to break briefly. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll see you then.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. We are a tabletop RPG and board game channel. We are streaming 3 times a week on Twitch and uploading board games to YouTube. This Kickstarter is our official launch of merch. We are going to run this Kickstarter for 30 days with the goal of $1,500. What this will do is provide the upfront cost for us to create merch for our channel. So we are going to create stickers and mugs and t-shirts. The good news is we've already created 2 of those things. So we have stickers and we have mugs ready to go out the door. As you can see on the side, we've got a number of cool perks. The first one is you just kind of, helping us out and saying, here's $5, we like what you're doing, and in return, we're going to send you a sticker. The next one up is our infamous mug. It is a 16-ounce Hilo mug, and it holds the beverage of your choice, whether that's coffee, tea, or beer. The next one up is our logo shirt. This cool logo put on a t-shirt that you wear. That's pretty awesome. Then we have the Natural One logo t-shirt. Start your week off right with a critical fail. That's what Bo C. Williams says. Our final t-shirt in this initial Kickstarter allows you to show your support of the Chaos Agents as well as the Immaculate Guild of Octopeers. Thank you guys for watching this video. We really appreciate you tuning in every week live, watching our videos on YouTube. This Kickstarter is a way for you to support the channel and get something in return out of it. So we think it's a win-win for all of us, and we really appreciate you taking the time to check out this Kickstarter.
sure what we're doing.
No. Nope.
Welcome back. We have another outtake for the. We're going to start another one. It's been 2 days since James has spilled anything. It's now been 0 days since we've had a sound or video issue with this.
Thomas.
The last one was on Natural One, so at least we're keeping it in the same week.
There you go. There you go. So welcome back. We had a lovely break. There were dogs. There was wine.
Yes.
You know, it was an exciting time. So you all you all decide to sort of reconvene at the funeral. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have tomorrow is essentially a day with nothing going on, and in the paper is the well, not an obituary actually. It is a news story about the murder of Jackson Elias. If somebody wants to read that out.
You were handing it to me. I saw you do it.
The voice actress.
We want to hear the real voice, not the.
Not the Alexandria
That's right.
voice. Author murdered by brutal killers. Body found in Hotel Chelsea. Possible connection to Harlem murders. Author Jackson Elias, 41.
Harlem
murders. Author Jackson Elias, 41, was found murdered in his 4th-room floor at the Hotel Chelsea, where the killers are reported to have used long knives to butcher their victim. Lieutenant Martin Poole of the murder squad stated that he is exploring possible connections between this murder and similar slayings in Harlem last year. The good friends of Jackson Elias.
And then they mention somebody else and be so mad. Friends, and then it's like Susie so and so says. I'm like,
You guys are the okay
yeah,
friends.
not so good friends.
We're the ones who almost died for him, okay?
Scars, man.
Yeah, right?
Hardcore.
The good friends of Jackson Elias are in mourning at the news.
Wasn't a specifically, yeah.
Mr. Elias had some fame as a writer, specializing in popular, I saw that. Specializing in popular, well-researched books about strange and violent cults worldwide, a subject in which he was an acknowledged expert. His first book, published in 1910, was Skulls Along the River, exposing headhunter cults in the Amazon basin. His best-known work was Sons of Death, 1918, for which he infiltrated a group of modern-day thuggies in India. He had no living relatives and maintained no permanent address. Although he was an experienced world traveler, he often visited New York, where the offices of his publisher, Prospero House, are located on Lexington Avenue. He was known to favor the Hotel Chelsea while in the city. The murder of Elias bears similarities to a series of other killings committed in Harlem over the course of the last year or more. Local resident Hilton Adams, 29, of 118 West 137th Street, was convicted of one of the Harlem murders in October last and is believed by police to be guilty of others.
What was his name again?
Hilton Adams.
Hilton Adams of 118 West.
Don't worry about the address.
Yeah.
He is awaiting execution in Sing Sing. Adams, a Negro, is a veteran of the war and served as a sergeant in the 369th Infantry Regiment. Lieutenant Poole offered no opinion whether this new murder indicates that Adams had accomplices or is innocent of the previous crimes.
And your brother will tell you that Hilton Adams is the guy that's in prison currently for them. He also mentions... is your brother a good cop?
As far as I know, yes.
Because if not, you would pull his ears.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. Like, nobody's ever told me that he wasn't a shady cop.
Right.
If you mean by good cop, bad cop, or good cop, shady cop.
Good cop, shady cop.
So your brother tells...
Cheers, Amy.
Your brother tells you that Hilton Adams was brought in by Captain Walter Robson,
Okay.
who is sort of notorious for being a shady cop.
Okay.
Your brother is, most people are pretty sure that Captain Robson is on the take.
Okay.
He doesn't think that's true of Lieutenant Poole. Like
Okay.
they tend to have a pretty, the people in homicide tend to be pretty on the up and up. It's the beat cops and the neighborhood cops that tend to be
The work over before they send
And
me to
Robson
jail.
is the captain of a precinct in Harlem.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you got a couple clues out of that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, was there anything else that, like, in the case file? That would be my question. Was there anything else in the case file to think that this actually was legitimate? Like, he legitimately may have murdered one of these people? You know, because
So the evidence has all been contained. Your brother
Okay.
can't even see it.
Okay.
So he doesn't know.
Okay.
But, you know, in the 20s, a lot of people, especially African Americans, didn't need a lot of evidence to.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like one eyewitness. I think
Yeah.
I saw that guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Can you describe the person? He was black. Well, then,
Yeah.
you know.
We'll just take these five.
Yeah.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yes. Round up the usual suspects. You know. So on the 16th, which is today, it is very cold. It is a very cold day. And you all received the invite to the funeral. There are a couple things you could follow up on. It would be pretty easy to telegram the librarian at Harvard if
Yep.
there's something you wanted to do there. And you also have an address for Emerson Imports. So you could follow up on that, or you could just sort of wait and reconvene at the funeral and see sort of where that leads you.
I'm not going to take the lead on any of this. I'm trying to stay out of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, should we go to Emerson Imports today?
I'd like to do that.
What on the card? What does it specify? Like, what is it? Antiquities? Like, what are the imports?
No, it just says Emerson Imports, gives an address and a telephone number, but what I find interesting is the name on the back.
Silas Nakwana.
And you all recognize that as Jackson's handwriting.
Okay.
Are you really going to go and check this place out?
Absolutely. I mean, it's Jackson Elias. He's an okay guy.
Insane.
He's only led us astray a few times.
He's led us astray more often than not, let's put it that
But this
way.
was cold blood, and there was no reason for it. It was just cause.
Are you all right?
Panda Express. Watch out.
Good to know.
Don't do it.
Well, if you let her go in, I suppose I should come watch your backs.
Please.
Please. I mean, why shouldn't we follow up on her?
How long do you have? I can list a number of reasons.
And there's nobody's name on the front of the card? Okay.
But this was someone that Jackson Elias thought was important.
Oh, thank
This
you.
Silas Nakwana person.
Who I think is a he.
Silas is generally a male name.
Okay. Yeah, let's go see Silas. Should we call first to make an appointment?
No.
Okay.
We can drop in.
All right, so you take a cab to Emerson Imports. It's a long, narrow building on the edge of the Hudson River in Hell's Kitchen. So it's about. Let's see.
So it's where all the defenders hang out?
That's right. Yeah. It's about here in Midtown, on the edge here. It's a warehouse district.
Yeah, that's what I was like. It might make sense to make an
yeah.
appointment. Let's go poke
and
around.
It is.
Hit it with a stick.
It's essentially a warehouse, and I mean, most of you would know, like import export. That tends to be sort of buying stuff and then bringing stuff in from other countries and selling it here. Rugs, vases, statuary, that sort of thing. Although it can be just about anything. And when you come in, let's see. Does he have a? I spent way too long putting together all these dang NPC sheets, and then I didn't organize them. So
I'm just wondering if we should split up and like two go in the front door and ask for Silas, and then the other two kind of wander around outside.
I'm fine with that. I don't know that splitting up is necessarily a good idea, but in this
I don't
case,
like the idea of any of you being caught unawares if something comes out.
Okay.
So inside, when you go in, it's a warehouse full of boxes. And there's a small office upstairs at the front. And in the office is one guy. And when you come in, he starts to come down. His name is Arthur Emerson.
Okay.
And he's built. He looks like a strong guy. And he like, could I help you, ladies?
Well, yes, hello. I was following up for a colleague of mine, Jackson Elias. He had met with somebody here. I found his business card, and Jackson had basically asked us to see about something. He was, I think, looking for something from Shanghai, perhaps. I'm not too sure exactly what the relationship was, but I'm supposed to speak to, and I kind of pull this out and flip it over. Silas Kwane? Is that somebody that works here? Is that somebody in the warehouse?
I don't think Silas does anything with Shanghai.
Okay. What does Silas do? Is it?
Well, your buddy, Jackson Elias, he was looking for connections with Mombasa.
Oh, okay.
And I work with a Mombasan importer, Aja Singh, and I import a lot of things, and Mr. Nkwane buys a lot of them for his business. He's got a business in Harlem, the Juju House, he calls it. And yeah, that's what I told Mr. Elias, that Silas was the manager there at the Juju House, and he went on his way.
Okay, and he wasn't looking for anything specific, though. He wasn't looking for an item or anything. He didn't mention that he was.
Didn't mention anything. Okay. No, he was just he asked about who I imported from Mombasa for, and I told him.
Okay. All right, and he gives us the address.
And who was buying stuff? Yeah, he gives you the address to Juju House.
All right, well.
I gotta tell you, like I told your buddy, that Nkwane character, he makes me very uncomfortable.
Why? Why do you say that?
He's just a creepy dude. He's that's not very period.
I know. I was like, what? And I just look back at him like, well, sort of kettle.
He's he just got a creepy guy.
He's a strange sort.
Yeah, very cold.
Reminds me.
Not a people person. In my business, you got to shake hands. You want to grease some palms, that sort of thing. Not this guy.
You almost went back to a different accent. For a hot second, I was like, is he doing it? He's doing it? He's like, oh. Okay, and when he says shake some hands, I'll be like, all right, I get you. So, shake his hand and be like, pat him on the back and be like, all right, man, thanks.
Yeah, okay. Let me know if I can help you with anything else.
Will do. Thank you.
Are you interested in the rugs or anything?
Do you ever deal in anything from Egypt?
No. I pretty much, it's all Mombasa for me. I know it. Like I said, I know a guy.
Okay.
Mr. Singh sends me the good stuff, so...
Could I see something that Mr. Singh sent you?
Yeah, if you don't mind, it would be.
Yeah, sure. What are you looking for?
I don't know,
We got beautiful masks. We got all sorts of.
I was about to go. Yes. Somebody said.
I froze when you said mask.
Spit
take.
When
no reason.
You want to put a mask on?
I've gotten real good at not spit taking.
Yeah, we got masks. We got a ceremonial statuary.
What? Yeah, I think that. Yeah, something small. That'd be cool.
Okay, so he comes out. And he opens up a crate and he pulls out almost an oval, but with like points at the top, very stylized sort of tribal mask.
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know anything about it, but they sell well. You know.
May I see it?
Yeah, sure.
Do I feel anything from the mask? Occulty.
Interesting. Make me a power roll.
That was an interesting question.
Ah, damn it, no.
No, remember you want to fail it.
Oh yeah, I did.
All right, so yeah, you hold this thing, and you get a feeling of that a lot of people have held this item.
Okay. Does it feel warm or beckoning or evil or anything like that?
No,
It's
it
just more other
actually
people's energies
it
or
actually feels very positive.
positive. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I kind of give the one eyebrow.
It's okay. It's safe.
Do you like it? Because I could give you a deal. I got like 50 of them back there.
May I see more?
I think, well,
You want? I mean, they're all the same.
So
How about the statues?
while they're doing that, you know, show them the statue. I'm gonna like on a piece of paper or a business card or something
Right.
like that. I'm gonna sketch something that kind of looks like that.
Sure,
And
sure.
just say I saw like, you know, continue on with the statues or whatever. Because if there's any interesting statues,
Right.
if not, I'm gonna be like. Anything with like something like this on it. Like
Okay.
this is a cool design I saw. Have you seen this anywhere or?
Ooh.
No, that
Okay.
doesn't look familiar.
All right.
yes.
Yeah, I saw
If
it
you
on
do want to
some-
see anything, could you give us a call about it?
Sure, yeah. If you would just to leave me a phone number, I'm happy to.
Will do.
Can I have that picture?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and just like write my number on
Yeah.
the back of it.
Yeah, sure. Fine.
Do you have a phone?
I don't know, do I?
Yeah, sure.
My mother answers, but yes.
Man, that's a flashback to my youth.
Yeah, he'll happily keep it, and he'll you know, if he sees something, he will not. You will not get a call. He doesn't have any.
Probably not, but
But still.
It's not.
Yeah.
But the statuary looks very sort of. And you can all make an occult roll when you see the statuary.
Made it.
probably not. But
Anybody who made it, don't forget the check. And anybody who made it, these are all pretty bog standard fertility.
Very
symbols.
generic type
Yeah,
things.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not, these are not artifacts of ancient power.
Is he selling them for a reasonable price, from what I know?
Make an appraise roll. This is not a world you travel in. The wholesale.
Nope.
Yeah,
But I didn't
I mean,
hear
it
it.
seems,
Fair enough.
and while we're doing that, can
Yeah.
I make another crappy roll? I haven't hit anything yet tonight. 49, so that should be my spot hidden.
I'm going to roll first and then pick the skill.
No, I'm sorry, I forgot
What
to
can
tell
I get with a 49? I punch him.
Yes!
No, that'll be me with knives.
Yeah, all right.
So while they're doing that, I also like when he gives me no dice on the image, I'm just
Yeah.
kind of like looking around.
Sure.
So with a 49, it's just a regular success. Like
Yeah.
everything seems okay.
Yeah, so he's the only guy here.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a small, this is a fairly small shoestring business. He's not so with that role I'll give you, this guy's not rich. Like he's not
Okay.
he's not particularly well dressed or anything like that. He's sort of getting by.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to roll harder.
And
to
it's
find
clear
anything.
that if he's the only guy here, he's not going to Kenya to pick up
Yeah.
Someone's
stuff.
delivering to
He's
him.
getting stuff off a boat that's sent
Okay.
here. And so probably a lot of this stuff is pretty mass produced.
Like gift shops type stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is not, these are not, objects
Museum
of,
or
this is not
Yeah.
museum quality stuff.
Okay.
All right, do we want to
Anything with the
go
rugs?
talk
Kinda
to his
look at the
friend?
rugs,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, he'll show
Modesty.
the rugs are reed. They're kind of stamped reed kind of stuff. They seem very nice. It's not like, it's very different, in your mind, rugs are sort of the classic Persian rug or something like that. These are more mats than anything else.
Interesting.
They're pretty.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they don't sell as well. I don't know why.
People have strange tastes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, if you excuse me, ladies,
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
you're
Thank
very,
you.
very nice to meet you.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too. See you later.
Thanks for helping us out.
Yeah.
All right. Should we go see Maja Singh? Because I can't understand what.
Aja Singh is in
Oh, it's
Kenya.
Ah.
Yeah, Aja
Oh,
Singh
okay.
is actually his
sorry.
guy in Kenya.
Could you
Got
pass me
it.
the matchbox?
But it's the Juju house, right?
Yes, the Juju house.
In Harlem.
Oh my god, they actually gave us matches.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
So Aja Singh is in Kenya. He doesn't come.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the person who's shipping everything.
Got it.
Or as he says, his guy.
His guy.
Yeah. My
I got
guy.
a guy. Okay. So what? It's midday.
I wonder what. Do we know what the Juju house is?
You have no idea.
Okay. Like to me, it sounds like a restaurant.
I think we should telegram the Harvard guy.
The Harvard guy?
Lady.
The librarian.
Person.
Person.
What's her name?
The Harvard person?
Miriam Atwright.
That's
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
And then who? She's the one that sent us the invitation?
So Jackson was asking about a book at Harvard, and she was writing to tell him that the book was not available.
But the other material would be available.
The
There are other
information.
volumes.
The information you seek may be found here in other volumes. If you contact me upon arrival, I will be most happy to further assist you.
Upon arrival, so we should go to Harvard.
Let's write the head. I don't feel like going to Boston today.
Yeah, that's in Massachusetts.
It's a good train ride.
Massachusetts. Cambridge. Yeah.
Ride.
It's a long way.
And with the funeral tomorrow, I don't want to miss that.
Wow.
I wonder how many people are going to actually show up for it.
That's a good question.
I mean,
I
there's so
will-
many
There'll be
family.
cheesecake.
This is true. I don't know. Yeah,
I will be very interested to see who shows up for someone
that's
like
what I'm
Jackson
saying. With no
Elias.
family, you kind of have to assume that they're associates of some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. So
Yes.
there's publisher, as manager, and then suspects.
So Juju House, funeral, and then maybe Harvard. Should we do it in that order?
I think that sounds about right.
That sounds right.
How far away from Harlem? Like taxi or?
It's a good.
walkable or
It's a
whatever?
pretty good way. Is Harlem?
I've never
is,
been
you
to New
know,
York. Actually, I've never been to the East Coast.
I've been to the East Coast, but not New York City.
It's cold.
Farthest east was
and then
when
it's
it was
hot.
in Michigan. Is it really hot?
Michigan's like in the Midwest.
Yeah, that's as east as I've gone.
So
I mean, I've been to Norfolk and I've been to Washington D.C., but I haven't
So
been to New
Harlem-
York City.
is pretty much like Harlem is up here on this map. So it's past, like, that is the edge of Central Park right there. And so it's going this way
Okay.
across. Harlem, so this whole area here is Harlem. And the Juju House is on 137th Street, which is right here. So it's a little alley off 137th Street.
Point of order.
Yes.
That's the same street that Hilton Adams lived on. Just so y'all know.
Interesting.
You said the address wasn't important. You lie, sir.
I will always tell you addresses. You don't need to remember addresses.
I remember.
That's what I mean by not important. I shouldn't say not significant.
Fair enough.
But you don't need to remember.
Okay.
But it was on the same street at least. I don't know how long that street is because New York.
Also, if she'll give you the license plate number, you can have your
Oh, yeah.
brother check the license
Yeah,
plate.
let's have a license plate rundown. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good.
He'll give that. He'll have that tomorrow. All right. So
And not only that, we should look and see at the funeral if anybody shows up in that car.
I know.
Good point.
Which would be
Exactly.
weird.
I actually kind of want to be disguised. I want to get a wig that's like short and black or something. I don't want to. I don't want to be familiar to Mr. Peruvian guy. I don't think he's dead.
Well, for what it's worth, he never saw me.
Exactly.
He already
Well,
knows.
at least not as far as I
He
know.
already knows what we look like. Bob.
I mean, it's entirely
But I
possible.
can.
Who are you?
It's
You're like
I
my
mean-
dog.
if we're going the paranoid route, he may have come into my hospital room at some point in Peru.
Yeah, but apparently didn't think that you were a threat. Didn't do anything.
Left me alive.
Yep. Yep.
All right, so we pull up for
So,
the Juju house. What is it?
you, as a native New Yorker,
Yeah.
would know this is a neighborhood called Little Africa.
Okay.
In Harlem.
Yeah, I'm also not familiar
and-
with it all because I live
Yeah.
down there in like the
Yeah,
Lower
you
East
live.
Side.
You live in the
in Little
fancy-
Italy.
Yeah.
I don't live in Fancy. I live in Little Italy, right next to Fancy
Yes.
and Chinatown.
So this is an alley off of 137th Street, and it opens up into a courtyard. And there are two doors in the courtyard. One has a little ramshackle sign over it that says Juju House, African Art Emporium.
Got it.
And the other leads into an apartment building.
I cannot possibly be the only one who's tempted by that apartment building.
We could look and see whose names are on the mailbox.
So, like, this is Harlem, and you guys stand out. You less
Yeah.
so.
Hey.
And so, like, poking around will get noticed.
Fair.
you know.
So tell me where to poke, and I'll poke it.
Go see whose names are on the mailboxes.
Got it. I'll go
in
do
the,
that.
Yeah, in the hallway. Go see what the last
They're
names
right
are.
next to each other, right?
No, so they're on opposite sides of the courtyard. The Juju house and then the apartment building. And I mean, you know, in the courtyard, there are, you know, there's maybe a kid running around, and there's, you know, there's the sense of like some windows with like people hanging their washout and that sort of thing. It's, you know, probably a 15-story apartment building.
Holy crap.
That's kind of New York.
Yeah.
Is there any like clothing swap shops or anything that I could see that's, I mean, you said there's quite a few shops.
Yeah, on 137th, this is a little commercial district. Most of them specialize in either in African clothing around here, so daishikis, that sort of thing.
Is the apartment building 118?
So that's farther down.
Okay.
That's farther down. It's not. That's more towards the Harlem River.
Okay.
So that's down here.
So what names do I see on the mailboxes?
Anything that jumps out?
Yeah.
You don't see any names you recognize.
Okay.
You don't see Nkwane. You don't see any name you've heard before.
Got it.
If they come up again, I'll let you know if they're significant.
Cool. I guess we'll go inside the art emporium.
All right, are you all going in?
I think I'm going to get a change of clothes because we stand out.
We're going to stand out regardless.
So
Okay, have fun.
you and a daishiki would stand out even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, if I could find something that's not quite so African, I was looking for a thrift shop or something.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Something that would
Make a
be-
luck roll.
Okay. No.
Everything here is pretty. You'd need to go several blocks away, probably.
I think we should just embrace the fact that we are going to stand out as very
we're-
white women.
We're going to an art store. What could be more white women than that?
True.
As I sip my wine and eat my hors d'oeuvres.
And put on every mask in the place.
Yes, I will.
Please
Call it
don't.
instinct, but the Peruvian guy followed us and then killed our friend. So I'm just concerned. The more we stand out, the worse it'll be for us.
Yeah,
So if
but
we could
us.
try to have a low profile, that's
I mean, you
Smart
guys
thing to do.
can wait in the car. I can go in and
I am not letting you go in there.
Try
by
masks
yourself.
on without me? Hell no.
You are.
I'll buy the masks for you.
You could try and case the place, and like just watch it for a
Yeah.
couple hours, like from the car, and see like what the traffic pattern is. You know, as a PI, you've done that stuff
Yeah.
before. I'm going to give you you'll take a disadvantage
Yeah.
die on the roll because it's 3 white women sitting in a car.
In a cab running
Yeah.
the whole time, which is really weird.
It
Yeah.
really stands out in Little Africa.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could, you know, or if you wanted to like just casually hang out on a stoop and sort of watch that. But again, I'd give you a challenge die on that.
No, I'm gonna go in, and if anything, if I wanted to like case the joint, I would basically play a kid outside to be like, "Hey,
All right.
what's up, bro?"
All right. So is anybody not going into the store?
I think I want to take you because we can kind of fool the people, be like, you are an archaeologist, doctor who wants to learn about these things, and I can be your token person of color.
Get in dangerous
You're one
territory.
of my students that,
That works.
wanted to introduce me to some culture that's different than what I teach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a decent disguise for us.
Yeah.
It's clear that this place is not a thriving mecca of commerce. But while you're sort of all in the courtyard, like one person goes into a person just goes into the store and sort of definitely makes note of you. An African American woman goes into the store.
We've been noticed.
You've been noticed.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm putting my hood up or something. I try to like
Okay, I'm just gonna walk into the store. This
I'm
is
gonna
too much.
Yeah, I'm gonna
All
go
right.
talk to the kid.
and start.
Well,
All right.
doing that.
Yeah.
You follow? Okay.
Okay.
I have my hood up and I follow you.
You can
Right.
take the hood off.
Yeah, having the hood up.
hood off.
Having the hood up is weirder.
Weirder.
Yeah.
Indoors, especially.
I'll stick with Emma.
To walk up across the street. And then,
Oh no, you guys are in the courtyard. You're in
Oh,
the.
we're already there.
We're like
Yeah.
in front, yeah.
Got it.
Okay, you go in and there's a woman buying spice at the. So it's a very small store. There's like 2 aisles basically of shelves. And on the shelves are various masks. Some of them look familiar from the store. There are different knickknacks. There are, let's see here.
What kind of spices are there?
Good ones. I'm not a spice guy, so but they're clearly from Africa. So there are spices that are sort of, and the woman who's buying has an accent of some sort. And the man behind the register is a super old man who you will come to know as Silas Nkwane. He's wearing a Maasai blanket. And he is, he's sort of politely talking to the woman and making a little, shopkeeper small talk. And he sells her the spices, and she heads off, and she acknowledges you as she heads out. What are you saying? What do you want the kid? Were you talking to the kid?
Yeah, I'm just talking to the kid to be like, hey, hello, So
Hello.
Have you been in that store before? Do you go in there with your mom?
Oh yeah, they got neat stuff.
Like what? What do you get? What does she buy you?
My mom bought me an elephant statue.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it made out of? Is it made out of ivory, like an elephant's ivory, or?
Elephant? I don't know. It's a elephant statue.
Okay. Cool.
It's heavy, but it's cool.
Cool. Has that store always been there, or was that something else before?
It's always been there.
Okay, cool.
He's like 7.
Yeah. Do you know the old guy? Do you know the old guy who runs it?
He gives me candy sometimes.
Really? Is it what kind of candy? Sweet or sour?
Sweet. He gives me
Okay.
root beer barrels.
Oh, I love root beer barrels.
Yeah.
In fact, I pull one out
Nice.
because I love root beer barrels.
There you go. All right. You
Love
have a
that.
friend for life.
Yeah, exactly. So, what kind of people go in there? I mean, is it just everybody in the neighborhood, or have you ever seen really kind of scary guys go in there?
No.
Really?
I've only
All moms and just moms and kids go shopping in there?
and guys
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, guys will go in there too.
All right.
But I mean, everybody I've met in there's been nice.
Cool.
I play in here. We live in that building.
Is it your whole family's in there? in that
Yeah.
building?
Yeah.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do. I have 2 brothers.
Okay.
And I have a grandma, and I have a grandpa, and I have a cousin, and I have an uncle, and we all live in the apartment.
Okay. And what about grandma and grandpa? What do they say about that old man in there?
Oh, they like just he gives them stuff for cooking, because my grandma makes good food.
I bet you she does. And then I poke him in the little belly.
This is the cutest exchange.
Emma is shockingly good with kids.
I am one. When he said root beer barrels, I was like, God damn.
I have a friend.
I was like, we are soulmates, sir. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
I'm Jimmy.
Jimmy, Emma, nice to meet you.
Emma.
Yep. So Jimmy, you play here every day.
I do.
Do you-
We
and
live
you-
in that building.
Yeah, you told me that. Do you go to school around here?
I don't go to school.
Really?
No.
Good for you.
Thanks.
It's a liberating and free childhood. Hang on to it, kid.
My mom says that that I'm gonna go to school, but first I have to help her take care of my grandma and grandpa because they live with us.
That is a very important job, Jimmy. That is a very important job. And you know what? Grandma and Grandpa appreciate that, and when they're gone, you're going to miss them. So enjoy every moment of that.
Where are they going?
Sometimes they go away, Jimmy.
Emma.
And so
I'm there with her. I'm like, Emma.
I pull out another root barrel. Got a little deep there for a second.
Let's not scar this.
Must not feel emotion.
It'll be fine, Jimmy. When they die, it'll be fine. So then I give Jimmy, how much your phone? Is there pay?
Probably a nickel.
Yeah. So I give Jimmy a nickel and say, Jimmy, you play here every day, right? You told me you play here every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how to use a phone? Is there a phone in this neighborhood? Is there a phone anywhere around here?
I don't know. No. I don't think. Maybe a few blocks away.
Okay.
Did you see a payphone anywhere around here?
There are police phones.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, not a lot of payphones in Harlem.
Yeah. Or anywhere.
Or yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, there are in various neighborhoods. There are, but
Okay.
Not so much in Harlem.
No, not a lot in Harlem.
Okay.
Do you know how to send a telegram, Jimmy?
I know, not really. I was going to think of something easier. So I give Jimmy another nickel and say, I don't know, is that enough money? To get him like...
That's more money than he's ever seen.
Yeah, to give him some money and be like, if you see anything weird going on in that place, Jimmy, I want you to get in a cab and tell him and give him this card.
I look at you, Emma.
This is going to be a fun conversation with his mom.
I have my new...
And then the white lady said,
Get in the car! Get in the car, Jimmy! Stranger danger, stranger danger!
"Run! Give me 10 cents!
Run, kid, run!
This is the best day ever!"
Okay, so I give him the 2 nickels, I give him my card and be like, get a cab and tell him that you want to go see my mom, okay? If anything weird happens over there.
Does your mom make yummy food?
Yeah, she does. Oh, yeah, she does. She makes all kinds of yummy food. She makes all kinds of pastas and bread and sweets and more bread and more sweets.
I'm watching my carbs.
No, you're not.
Not in the 20s.
Carbs? What are
What's
carbs?
pasta?
What are carbs?
It's a really sweet sort of like chewy bread, and they put sauce on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's great, Jimmy. And then there's a lot of like crunchy candies and more root beer rolls and there's ice cream.
This is like the creepy
Yeah, I
cat.
know. Emma went from being good with kids to being the wicked witch that is going to cook the kid. When
This is the witch from Hansel.
we'd like to have you for dinner.
We'll just
Anyway, Jimmy, focus. You come and tell my mom about it, okay? All right.
Where does your mom live?
I give him the card. I give him the card with my address on it.
I can't read.
That's okay. Give it to the cab driver.
Okay.
And tell him you got 2 nickels and that she'll pay for the rest when you get there.
Okay.
And she'll give you more root beer barrels.
Okay.
Give me a high five. Do it. Boom.
So, what am I? If I see anything weird,
Yep. Cab. Give him the card. Go.
Weirder than us.
Candy.
Oh my god.
Done.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
I really want your mom to not be like you, not to be home. Like your mom's like,
Fuck is this shit? Really good. Got another one.
gosh, she did it again. That girl is gonna get in trouble someday.
There's a collection of orphans outside our
Children
house.
to this house at all hours. All right, back in the store.
Okay. Anyway.
Away from.
Emma, you're maybe just a little creepy.
Are you sure you're Catholic?
So yes.
All of this.
I was
Yes.
going to say,
Oh wait.
this proves.
So Mr. Nkwane, like when you come in, he says he'll be right with you.
So I'm just gonna like mosey around
sure.
the mask, kind of put my hand on it to feel if there's anything occultish, or weird, or energies coming.
Cultish spidey sense.
Spidey senses.
So you can make an occult roll.
Okay. I made it.
So, I mean, you certainly see necklaces and things like that that are components of, that you figure are ritual components.
I gotta write Jimmy down.
Nothing that kind of, nothing that sends off like warning bells or anything like that. It seems pretty, it's not run of the mill. Most of the stuff here is better than what you saw at Emerson Imports. There is
Authentic, right?
more authentic. Yeah, there's there's stuffed models of animals. There are carvings that are definitely very authentic. There are various sort of African tribal artifacts. That's where the masks are and that sort of thing. And there are under a case where Silas stands with a cash register are dull knives, dull sort of ritual knives, and ivory carved creatures like animals.
I want a knife. Okay.
I have enough knives for everyone. I promise you that.
But knives like that.
They're dull.
And
That's
is,
not any
like,
fun.
the spices on another.
The spices are the spices are like to his left.
Okay, I'm gonna go towards the spices and probably grab something that looks like cayenne or whatever.
Right, sure, yeah.
Because I'm gonna buy something.
Sure.
I want spice in my life. And I talked to you about, okay, so cover story, professor, student. I want to show
You're doing
you
this in the store?
Authentic. Well, I mean, quietly.
Okay.
Yes.
He's helping the woman.
Yeah, that's good. So just sound like a clueless white woman here.
Cool. I'm just standing there going, and because you're like wandering around.
It's the
like,
part I was born to play.
and you come back, and then I'm like, anything of interest?
I mean, look around with me. Do we see anything with the symbol that was carved on Elias's head?
No, nothing.
Okay, nothing
you
like
see nothing
that.
like that. The store. So there's the storefront, and then there's a blanket over a door that is probably like the back office.
Okay.
But it's very small.
Okay.
You can both make spot hidden rolls.
Ooh. Critical success.
Nice.
Those crystal dice are doing you real good.
So-
No, I love these dice so much.
So you both notice. So you notice that Inquane has a necklace, and you notice that he actually has a key hanging on his neck, on a leather tongue.
Leather tongue.
It's like a leather strap around his neck. Not a choker. The lady leaves,
So,
and he, when he smiles, you notice that he's missing most of his teeth.
aw. Reminds me of my dad. That's just so cute. Sorry, Dad. So
If you're watching.
yeah. So I go up to him respectfully and you know greet him and whatnot, and just
How can I help you?
small talk. I'd like to buy these spices, and this is my professor, who I would like to
Pleasure.
Dr. Aldridge.
I would like to teach her more about, you know, other cultures around the world. She is a professor of anthropology, and I was hoping we could learn some African traditions from you.
Well,
I'm quite fascinated in the ancient cultures, particularly in the 12th century or earlier.
well, I don't know much. I'm a salesman. These items are brought to us from Africa.
I point to the knives. I'm like, these look, because they're dull, probably ritual knives?
Yes, these are ceremonial.
Interesting.
I mean, and you now have both of enough of experience, especially spending time around Alexandria. These knives would not be useful for the things you use knives for.
I like that's how you phrased it because you hang around Alexandria.
See how they're handled by a pro. Yes. Interesting. And the masks, what traditionally, I mean, I know in various cultures they all have different symbols, but these particular masks here, they look like they might be representations of spirits or maybe even deities. What do you think that they might, you know?
This is what I wanted.
Teachers and Charlie Brown.
Well, this mask, and he points one, this is a devil mask. It would be worn in a ritual by someone who would take on the aspect of the devil that we wish to leave our village. And the ritual would send that demon, that devil out. This mask, this is a chieftain's mask. Very nice, very good quality. He'll go on at great length about, you know.
Is there anything in there that stands out that seems like really expensive, probably like one of those most...
The ivory animals are definitely some of the nicer stuff in there. There's like wildebeests and there's a lion that looks very nice.
Lions. In our research, we came across the symbol with.
So you're gonna you have another drawing of
I draw it out for him.
of the symbol from the forehead.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're not quite sure where it's from, except it's close to Egypt.
Both of you can make a psychology roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I made it exactly.
There's a brief moment of fear when he sees that symbol.
Interesting.
That he tries to hide, but like you notice very briefly because reading people is as a con man, that's your like con person.
Con woman.
That's reading people is what you do, and so there's a brief instance of fear that he can't quite hide. Just an involuntary action. He says, I'm sorry, I do not recognize this symbol.
I think you're lying. Ooh. And I would really, really like to learn.
I look at you. I'm like,
I beg your pardon.
I'm just very curious in learning about the cultures, and I really, really want to know more.
And you accuse me of lying.
Oh, let's don't be hasty here. I mean, come on.
I believe it is time for you to leave.
I think she's a little tired. I'm sorry she offended you, sir. We do not wish any disrespect for you.
You have bought your spices. Please go.
I'd actually like to buy something a little more significant.
I'm not interested in selling you anything. You
She's very
should
rich.
Go. I'm very uninterested.
Okay. Ooh. Thanks. See, and this is why we don't go on field trips very often. I slowly turn away and start backing up. Like, I don't actually
push.
turn.
You just start pushing over.
Really?
No.
No. I slowly take a few steps
As you're leaving, he says, Professor Aldrich.
Yes, sir.
Apologies for my... I'm a proud man. And anyone would not enjoy being accused of lying.
Understandably so.
And your name?
Lady Jezebel.
Well, apologies, and please, I do hope you will come to the Juju house again.
I would like to purchase that lion.
We are closed, but at another time, please.
Happily.
So right behind you, he flips the closed sign.
He knew the symbol.
Yeah, but you push too hard. You gotta use a little more finesse. You can't hit him over the head with a hammer. Let's go see if we can meet up with the others.
So you come out, and they're like,
we're
talking
playing,
about
playing hopscotch and
she's
getting
giving
weird.
candy and money to a child.
I'm like, maybe.
And he goes running off, and he's like, Mom! Mom!
I'm like, get in the car, get in the car.
The nice white lady gave me money!
Yes, we should probably go before we bear the brunt of an angry mother.
or an angry shopkeeper.
Yeah, or a mob.
His name is Jimmy.
Yeah.
Nice kid.
Jimmy.
Yes. How did things go?
Emma's starting her own irregulars.
No,
Yes.
Miss Lady Jezebel, but I think we might have fumbled it slightly.
What happened?
I was my rude self, apparently.
Just a little pushy. Not rude, just overly pushy. You tend to go right to the point of things, and you don't kind of like finesse and build it up. You just gotta.
I don't like liars.
But, well,
This is why I let her talk.
I'm not always good at it, but I do talk for a living, so I try to.
Well, he did
reach
take
into
a
the
liking
minds
to
of the people
you,
I'm
so you
talking
should
to.
probably, maybe tomorrow or after the funeral, come back.
I think we were really lucky that he didn't completely tell us to never come back again. So what was it that cued him off? Was there something? What impression did you get? Because I wasn't.
The
under
symbol,
impression.
he was afraid of it,
He was afraid
which is
of it.
why I pushed.
He was afraid
Okay.
of the symbol.
He was afraid of the symbol.
Fear is not something you push on. You have to kind of like coerce and coax and win trust. If it's a fear response, just
Yes,
saying, in the
in
future,
fact.
you have to create the environment for them to talk, get them to relate to you.
I thought you were a professor, not a psychologist.
You have to be a slight psychologist with your teaching because you have to get inside the mind of your students. Otherwise, you can't reach them. But that's beside the point. He'll at least let us come back. And
Her, not me.
Well,
Yeah, you could probably go back. He's old, he might forget.
true.
probably not.
Don't you think it's odd that he closed though, right after
What time is it? Is it noon?
It's 3, but it is.
Okay.
I mean, it is not
Okay.
closing time
Exactly.
for a store. And like, as soon as he said closed, like the little shade went down on the door. You know.
Did the kid leave already?
Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy is.
Okay.
How hard
I
did
don't
you
think you
push?
messed up. I don't think you messed up that badly. I just think that you really unnerved him and slightly offended him.
Well,
you
if-
need to respect your elders. He's a lot older. This is his domain. This is his
All right.
key at the castle.
Here we go.
The lecture has begun. Like the whole cab ride back, the professor's
I'm
just
literally
like,
like, whatever.
Thanks, Mom.
It's like I'm an orphan. I never had parents. I didn't have to deal with any of this.
Mood.
You
Mood,
catch
though.
more flies with honey than you do vinegar. That's all I'm saying.
And suddenly
that is
I'm-
not all she's saying. It goes on for quite some
Yeah, I'm just staring at the windows.
And suddenly I'm back at elocution classes.
So, unless you guys want to do something in the evening, you can have a lovely meal in one of many New York's fine, or with her mom maybe
Yeah, she'll feed you. It'll be fine.
I want to go back to the shop.
at night. You want a case? Okay. All right. Do you want to go? Are you going alone?
Probably.
He said, hopefully.
Probably.
He said, hopefully.
Probably, unless
Okay.
you guys want to go.
Have you said this in front of Alexandria? That's the
say-
question for me.
I do. Well, before we part ways, I go, I'm going to go back to the shop. He invited me back, so I'm going to go.
You're going back after most shops are closed.
I don't think the shop's going to be closed. I mean, it's like 6 in the evening.
Oh, you're going back. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
not
closed
like
now.
late.
The shop is closed now. I mean, he closed when you left.
Yeah, at about after dinner, maybe 6 or 7 in the evening. I want to go and.
It
watch
looked
the
like it
joint.
closed at 5. Like the sign said close at 5. Are you planning on trying to get inside? Is that your? Do you?
Kind of want to see the activity.
Okay.
People coming and going. If I do see
Sure.
anybody going around the side alley, back behind, anything
Sure.
like that.
Okay.
Because I think he closed prematurely.
So are you just gonna like get a cab and like sit in the
I'm
cab?
not going to
Or
get a cab. I'm going to get an expensive car.
okay, you hire a car.
I'm
Yeah.
going to hire a car.
Hire a car.
And for the evening.
Make me a Gosh, what roll would you make here? Make me a credit rating roll.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
I have a 65 rating, 42. No problem.
All right. So because you made the roll, you're gonna get a great car, but like it's a great car.
It's going to really stand
Yeah.
out in Harlem.
You have a chauffeur. It's like a it's not a Rolls, but it's pretty nice and it will stand out. But it's the kind of car you would get. That's the.
Can I like be with her and look at it and be like, Professor, I don't know how much you know about Harlem, but anyone
That's what
looking
they had.
anyone looking for, anyone like
It's like when you get the two
All they had was the Maserati.
Ford Escort Maserati. I don't know.
And I dress nice, actually.
It was a free upgrade.
I dress nice. I don't.
They gave me the convertible.
I mean, if I have no choice but to stand out, even though I don't want to, then I might as well go all the way. That's where I'm coming.
My socioeconomic status is a burden.
I mean, trust me, I'd love to find some clothes. I mean, heck, I don't know. Should I?
We're dealing with class and race issues tonight.
Is it rough?
I thought we weren't going to touch on those.
I thought Rip Your Barrel solves all problems.
I'm tempted to go get some like makeup. And,
No, that we are not dealing with.
I say no.
The X card will come up then. We'll get a lesson in the X card.
I will take offense. Okay.
I'm just.
but still.
All right, so you park a lovely, not a convertible. You can park a lovely sedan, about, I don't know. Do you want to be able to see in the courtyard? Because if you want to be able to see in the courtyard, you're going to need to park pretty close, and parking will be very easy. This is the one place in New York where parking is easy.
I was going to say.
But if you want to like just see who's sort of going into the alleyway, then you can park pretty much anywhere on the block. But if you want to see into the courtyard, you're going to need to park like right there.
I don't think I need to see in the courtyard. I just want to see who's coming and going
Okay.
in and around back alleys and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your driver is going to like get out and like smoke on the side of the car, like away from the alley.
Good.
If I know anything about drivers, they also talk shit about you too while they're doing it.
I always did.
Actually pull out a 50 and go, thank you so much for your
Whoa.
service.
Wow.
All right.
And I hand it to him, and I'm like, I hope you stick around. It should be fun.
It's my car. I'm gonna stick around.
Good.
$50. All right. Yeah, that's great.
No.
I guess I won't drink from the. Won't use the flask. I guess. So yeah, he's like facing away.
And I go, good, because you're gonna need your wits. Cigarettes and coffee. That's great for you. And
So like I said, he leans against the back of the car, facing like just sort of looking around, smoking. So you guys, none of you went along with this.
I want
This
home.
is too weird.
All right.
I'm not going to let her go and do this stupid thing by herself. You stupid, stupid person.
why is it stupid? I'm gathering information. I'm being a PI.
Being alone is often a bad idea. You're like, Mom, a little kid might be.
Yeah, I was pretty much explaining that. I was supposed to say, I don't have to go
luck.
sit in case anything. I got little kids coming to me.
You've got your own Baker Street irregulars
Yep.
coming in.
All right.
But yeah, I'm not going to let her go and do
So
this
you're
by
sitting.
herself.
You two are sitting in the car. Like I said, your choice. Are you seeing in the courtyard, or are you just seeing who goes in the alley?
I'm not really concerned with the courtyard.
Okay.
More
So
concerned with the alley.
you're about a half block down. You can clearly see anybody going in and out. You don't know what happens once they go in.
Right.
All right. About let's see, that night, we'll say that both of you make me spot hidden rolls.
No.
Make it. Yep.
Just a regular
30.
success.
Yeah, just a regular.
Okay.
Even after I got 10 points in spot hidden.
Well, actually, I haven't recounted. No, yeah. I guess it is.
I got a
So
real
58.
dice boost to my spot
I
hidden.
rolled a 30.
I was speaking
So
of
it's
which,
about-
I need to mark that off.
Yeah, it's not anything special.
Okay. You see a white man go into the alley. He's wearing a suit. I mean, that's not. It's a pretty. It doesn't seem like a very nice suit. Make me a psychology roll.
Me?
Yeah, once she points this guy out.
Oh, check him out.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah.
65 out of 10.
All right. Yeah. He seems like a guy. Yeah. He goes in. He's there for about 10 minutes, and he comes out and he walks. He gets into a car.
Is he carrying anything?
No. No. Well, make a spot hidden roll. You can both make a spot hidden roll on this one.
You know, I'd like to make one roll tonight.
Welcome to my life.
By 5.
Okay,
I
there's
missed
an
it by, like,
envelope
6.
in his pocket, like a very full envelope.
That guy just got paid money, I bet you. He's got a thick envelope. Take a look at that.
Can I see it now that she's pointed it out? Does it look like something that I would be familiar with in my second
It's a
job?
bribe. Or he picked up money for some reason.
A payment of some variety.
Yeah.
That's undercover. Okay.
What do you think? Should we go talk to him, or just keep tabs?
I think keep tab. Excuse me. I think that we should probably keep tabs on him if he's
So he's driving off.
Yeah.
The white guy's going to drive off.
Okay, I look at his license plate number.
yes.
Sure, you can write it down. Yeah.
At least try and figure out who he might be.
Your brother tells you
Yep.
that, by the way, that the license plate number that she gave you is from a stolen car
Of course it is.
that was stolen from Harlem.
Okay. What's the registered owner's name?
Wes.
Okay,
Wes
so
Williams.
It's a
It's just a,
Yeah.
name X.
As you visibly make something up.
yeah.
Yeah,
At least it's not Dave.
it is not. Dave is not allowed to appear in this. All right, so you note down the box.
Write it down.
It's getting late. It's about 11. Your driver is, he's you gave him $50.
He don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He'll drive for a month, whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think? Go get some.
He taps on your window. He says, "I was gonna go get some coffee. You want me to get you?"
I'd love some coffee.
Coffee might be a good idea.
Sure.
Thank you.
Perhaps a bagel or something.
Oh yeah, I'll get you a sandwich. Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd say give it another hour, maybe 2 at the outside, and then call it for the night.
I agree.
Okay.
Midnight, the witching hour.
Maybe we should wait a little bit after that, because that's when it gets interesting.
I'm-
1 o'clock, I'm gonna.
I'm thinking 1 at the absolute latest.
Sounds good. But of course, if you're not feeling up to it, we can go sooner. Whatever you like.
I've had later nights.
A squad car pulls up.
Interesting.
Squad car pulls up.
Yeah, it pulls up at the front of the block, and 2 officers in uniform.
Follow my lead. I pull out my makeup. I'm like, here. I hand you some lipstick. And I start laughing. Did you see him? The way he was looking.
Well, so you're
funny.
sitting in your car, right?
Yes.
So and the windows are up and that sort of thing.
But
Maybe
we're
the window's cracked a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and,
All right.
and we're.
So the cops are walking down the street, sort of they're not making a beeline for you.
okay.
They're looking in store windows and that sort of thing.
They're doing rounds.
Beat cops.
And your driver comes. They stop your driver and they talk to him for a minute.
Uh-oh.
And they come back. You see them turn around with your driver and come back to your car. And one of them taps the window with his billy club.
And when he first does it, I jump and put down the makeup, straighten the hair, fold down the. Yes, officer.
Good evening, miss. Why are you going somewhere?
Not at the moment. We were waiting for their driver to get our coffee and our sandwiches.
Oh, okay. Well, he said that you just told him to wait here.
But he was
Really think that you should consider moving on. This is, not a great neighborhood for 2 lovely young ladies like yourself.
Oh, you flatter us. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being concerned about our safety. We will be on our way soon. Can we finish our coffee and sandwiches?
You're gonna eat in the car?
But of course, I'm starving.
Huh.
I start reaching for them. If he's...
Yeah, the driver will hand him in. Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, my goodness. I'm so famished. I'm so glad we got this. Thank you.
Well, all right, ma'am, but, I mean, you should be on your way.
Thank you, officer.
They not subtly at all are hanging around.
Great.
We should probably leave fairly soon.
Sure. What time is it?
It's about 11.
I know.
Hey,
Jim?
Vinny.
Oh, Vinny. Sure,
Hey,
Vinny.
Vinny.
Vinny. Hey, Vinny.
Can you take us 3 or 4 blocks down the road?
Why are the cops interested in you?
I don't know, but can you?
You don't know?
Can you move down?
Why are you paying me $50 extra and the cops know about you?
I will tell you that if you start driving.
No, you're gonna pay me another $50.
I don't think the cops know
What makes
us.
you think I have another $50 on me?
I don't think the cops
You
know
hired this car.
us, Vinny.
People that worry about $50 don't hire this car. Why are the cops interested in you? I don't want any trouble.
We're weird. We stand out in this sort of neighborhood.
Do you think we're from around here?
Well,
I can tell you exactly.
look, I don't want to know why you're here. I don't care about that. I just want to know if I'm in trouble being around you guys.
You are not in trouble.
Am I gonna be in trouble?
You shouldn't be.
You making all these you stick around, it's gonna be exciting, that sort of thing. I don't want to. I don't like excitement.
Okay, well, did you see that guy coming out of the office? The back side over there? Did you see that guy? He walked out of there. It was a white guy. He just
No, I
came
missed
back
him.
there and left. We're just trying to figure out who's coming and going out of that place, that's all. Because we've been hearing weird things about it.
You cops?
I'm a private investigator.
Well, look, if
Totally
the cops
a
tell me to
PI.
leave,
I know,
I'm gonna go.
That's what I'm saying. If you go down the road,
She's like the
that'd
crazy
be
old lady
nice.
we humor all the time now. Literally turning into
all right, he will.
I just pull things up.
We're like, yeah, totally.
He will come back around, and he's like, look. So he comes back around, and the cop car is still there. Like he goes around like 4 blocks and comes back, and he's like, look, I'll drop you off here, but I don't want any trouble with the cops.
All right, just keep going. Don't worry about the cops. Turn if you can turn before. I mean, I see them clearly. If you can turn before.
Yeah, he'll
let's do that.
he's an old hat at avoiding the police.
I wonder why.
Hey, Vinny, this is why we hired you, and the reason why I'm giving you money is just because we're trying to make sure that everybody is okay and that you could be safe, and that we can get out of here if we need to.
Sure. So yeah, he'll take you back and drop you off. Both of you make spot hidden rolls.
Nope.
Nope.
Everything's fine.
Everything's great.
I think that's probably my favorite phrase for you after you ask us to make spot hidden rolls.
So
Death saving throw. Everything's fine.
so do you go back to your hotel or do you go back to her house? Where does Vinny drop you off?
Depends. I don't know. Do you invite me up or no?
I have a reasonably comfortable sofa if you need somewhere to be tonight.
Let's do that. And
It is fairly late.
And I tell Vinny and Amelia, I'd like to hire you again to drive if you're.
Yeah, he'll give you
available.
his number. You can call. Just ask for Vinny.
Perfect.
All right. So it's about midnight. Everything's fine.
Call you guys? Is it possible to call them?
Well, we've established you have a phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if your mom's gonna like getting a call at
Nope.
midnight.
Not at all. Nope. Nobody will.
The phone just keeps ringing.
We're like, what?
But I do have a phone, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
It seems like something I would have.
And you're staying at a hotel, so they can call the hotel.
And I put tea on while you're making calls.
So the
Change
funeral
pajamas.
is at 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Cool. Sleeping in.
All right, so you call. The phone rings for about 3 minutes,
At midnight?
and and you're, your whole, like your family does the standard. Ma, the phone's ringing.
Emma! Answer the fucking phone!
Cripes. Get the phone.
You stumble downstairs.
Yeah. There's a full argument on who's going to get the phone
Right.
before somebody gets the phone.
Sounds like my house.
And it's
Yeah.
the Professor Aldrich.
Emma. Just wanted to let you know there is some weird activity at the Juju house.
Okay.
And I know it's late, but I just wanted to tell you before I forget.
Are you drunk?
Slightly.
Okay.
Not yet.
We're working on it.
Give us time. There's some good scotch here.
We're working on it. But besides that, I just wanted to tell you before I forgot.
Is this life or death?
Neither.
Yes.
Okay, then can it wait till tomorrow?
No.
No, because I'm going to forget.
Okay, then spit it out.
Start laughing. Emma, you're having a riot. All right, so there was a white guy. He got paid a lot of money. Then the cops came and kicked us out.
All right, bye. Click. Done.
While she's
I
on the
was like-
phone, there's a knock on your door.
Okay. Do I have a peephole?
Make a luck roll.
Oh, great.
Have a people.
You have one.
Have a people.
Yes.
You
Yes,
have
I
a
do.
peephole.
Peer through to see if I can see who this is.
Do they cover it or not?
I mean,
You see 2 police officers.
hey, Professor. Yeah. There's cops.
Oh, great. I get off the phone. Bye, Emma.
I'd hung
go
up
in
and I'm like, I don't know what that's all about. I've been like, great, click, back in bed.
Sorry, Ma.
Yeah. Shut the light off.
Why are they at my door?
I don't know. Do you want me to be here or should I head in the bathroom?
Go be in the bathroom for the moment. I'll answer the door.
Okay. I go in the bathroom.
I'm gonna wait
I
for.
turn on the shower, the
There you go.
bathtub.
There you go.
Glug, 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 glug.
I like wait for the noises from the bathroom and then open the door.
right.
Evening, officers. It's a bit late, isn't it?
Ma'am, where were you on the afternoon? Where were you yesterday afternoon?
Here.
Does the name Jackson Elias mean anything to you?
Yes. Why?
I'm Officer Carruthers. This is Officer McGillicuddy. Could we come in, please?
I'm going like
Those
this
are like
to the door.
2 liquors.
I don't know.
I don't think Carruthers is,
Me
but.
neither. I don't forget what is. I was like, what?
Can you tell me why you're here at midnight asking me about someone that I haven't seen in over 5 years?
This is a police investigation, ma'am.
Yes, and I don't have to let you in unless you tell me what's going on. Unless you have a warrant, sir.
In the bathroom.
I'm unclear about search warrants in the 20s.
I don't know.
I have to admit.
A constitutional amendment. Unlawful search and seizure.
I could do a quick Google.
You know yourself.
Alexandria would know why people would be able to come into our house.
That's true.
I was merely asking politely, ma'am, if I could come in.
And I'm asking politely why you would want to come in asking questions at midnight about someone I haven't seen in over 5 years.
This is an emergent police discussion. Do you know anyone named Emma Navarro? Amy's like, wait, is that my last name?
Oh, shit. Now what did I do?
Yes? What did she do now?
Do you say that?
Yes.
I in the bathroom.
What has she done previously, ma'am?
She's an interesting character. Why do you ask?
It's a very evasive answer, ma'am.
I'm very tired. You're at my door at midnight.
Why are you tired, ma'am?
Because
what were you doing today?
It's midnight.
Where were you this evening?
I have a life, sir.
Again, that's a very evasive answer, ma'am.
You're asking me very strange questions, sir.
I turned off the bathroom.
I'm a policeman, ma'am. No question I ask is strange.
I would,
Again, this is an ongoing investigation, and I'd appreciate it, ma'am. I'm being polite.
So I come out with a towel only on and my hair wet. What's going on?
Ma'am, would you please get dressed?
Oh!
Octavia, darling.
Whoa,
that's-
what's going on, Alexandria? Oh my.
Octavia, darling, give us a moment, if you would.
Your name, ma'am?
Dr. Octavia Aldridge? Whoa. What are you doing?
Go get dressed, ma'am.
I start to. Okay.
Where were you this evening?
I don't think I actually have to answer any of your questions, sir. Unless you tell me what's going on.
Do you want to go down to the station?
I'd rather not. It's midnight. I'm quite tired.
If you answer my questions, you don't go down to the station.
My friend and I were looking at an art exhibit in Harlem earlier this evening.
And what is your relation to Mr. Elias?
He's an old friend. Very old friend.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Elias?
5 years ago.
When's the last time Mrs. Aldridge saw?
Ms.
Ms. Aldridge?
Beg pardon? I don't know. I haven't asked her. It's been a long time since I've seen Mr. Elias. It's not a... I don't know.
And have you ever been to Peru, ma'am?
That's a little out of your bailiwick, isn't it?
We have information about this investigation that I am merely following up on.
And I'm like visibly pale.
I'm dressed.
Right.
Mostly, like just a blouse and a skirt. Come out. What is all of this? What is going on?
This is a police investigation, ma'am,
Regarding who or what?
regarding the murder of Jackson Elias.
Oh, good. That should be good.
Oh, good?
Yes, he's a friend of ours.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Elias?
Alive or dead?
Oh, Lord.
Why would you phrase the question that, like the McGillicuddy, like starts to like?
I look at him. I'm like, sir, you do know he's already dead. His obituary is.
Lady, this is a murder investigation. Yes, I know he's dead. Look, you two need to stop being funny with the police.
Sir, could you stop screaming? My neighbors are trying to sleep.
It's me.
I could give a crap about your neighbors. This is a
I
police
give- I
investigation, and
Why
you
are you
two.
upset, sir? Why are you?
Do I know
upset?
he's been murdered? Look,
Mr. Elias was
The
our
last time I
friend.
saw him, he was dead.
that's all you had to say. Why?
That's why I was asking. Do you want to know the last time I saw him alive or dead? The last time I saw him, he was dead. Okay, and he's
Ma'am,
my friend. And this
I'll
is
ask
really
the questions.
disturbing.
You'll answer the questions.
Right, but I needed to clarify. Did you want to know the last time I saw him when he was alive?
Octavia.
Or dead? That's very different. I saw
Ma'am,
him, last time I
please
saw him
come
alive
with me.
was five years. When the last
Ma'am.
time I saw him,
Please come with me, and
I
please
know
stop
my-
talking.
I know my rights.
I know I'm a policeman. Come with me.
Why? What have I
And
done?
where?
You
Where
are
we going?
resisting a police investigation.
No.
Come with me.
You're being mean. And rude.
That is my job,
To
ma'am.
be mean? No, you are here to serve and protect the people. Right now, you're
Sure,
harassing
read the
us.
badge. Come with me.
I
Hold
want to
up,
talk to
hold
a
up.
lawyer. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm sorry, what was your name again, officer?
Yes.
Damn.
McGillicuddy.
No, McGillicuddy was the other one.
Captain?
No.
No, fudge.
Pause.
I don't. Mathis. I'm Officer Mathis.
Mathis. Hold up.
I'm gonna write that down.
Officer Mathis. None of us are here to be intended to be combative. We are here to try. Jackson Elias was our friend, and we.
You haven't seen him in 5 years, you said.
Yes, but
That doesn't mean the friendship was any less valuable.
yeah, if we would send postcards, Christmas cards.
I have a telegram on my table that was from him. We kept in touch, so
And you're really
I
upset about this. I'm sorry.
understand. This is a traumatic experience. This is a horrible thing that has happened. That being
I'm doing my job, ma'am.
that being said, we are more than willing to help you.
And cooperate.
That has not been the case.
We are more
We're
than
answering your questions.
You're asking me more questions than I'm asking you, lady.
I asked one, and how many have you asked?
You asked 7 sub-questions to that question.
we are more than willing to help, but we would prefer not to be screamed at midnight. Please.
All right. That was rough. I admit you got on my skin. Look, can we just come in?
Please, come in. Sit down.
All right.
Would you like some tea?
That would be lovely.
All right.
So you step out of the room.
And I put the kettle on.
Okay. So I'm very sorry about that, ma'am. And I'm very sorry about this. And all of a sudden, Mathis splits apart in front of you.
Bitch.
And where Mathis was, McGillicuddy like staggers back shrieking.
Do I come back into the room? Do I hear the shrieking?
You're about to. Where Mathis was is a very familiar parrot. And I think that's where we're going to end it. For this session. We will end with McGillicuddy like on his back, backing away. He's screaming. He's going to make a sanity roll. He fails his sanity roll, so he's just like
Shrieking.
screaming. You're going to make a sanity roll.
I haven't come back in yet, so I don't need to make one
Yeah.
yet.
40. Yes, I make it.
All right, you're going to lose.
You've seen the monkey parrot, whatever.
I mean, she
shark,
has seen
whatever.
this before.
Yeah, and it dropped her off of a veranda. So,
And it made this.
yeah. So you're going to lose 2 sanity from bad memories. And that's going to do it for Quests in Cthulhu for this time.
Holy shit.
You shouldn't have let them follow you.
I shouldn't have let them come in the goddamn door.
That was
Is it the same cops that were talking to us earlier?
It was
or-
not.
It was not. Okay.
It was not the same cops.
But someone followed us back.
Yeah, somebody followed. Yeah, you are marked. Let's
course
just
they are.
say that when somebody when someone says your name, like again, to like remember what your name is, you're probably in trouble.
Tiana, the voice actress, has made a very poor decision.
So we're gonna start up next time with initiatives, the old school way.
Yep.
Ooh.
Take that, D&D. And
And
you
we
know,
have 5 inspiration?
the good news is
Do we get to keep those?
We're at 5. Yeah, I think Emma
we're
has
at
one.
5.
Yeah, because I don't know how we go. I don't remember what the cutoff is.
So
for-
in all the other streams, it's 4.
yeah, all right. So one's gonna go into
the
the
In the box.
In the plea.
In the box. What's in the box?
There we go.
One goes into the plea.
We need the light there.
The other one. The other one.
It's the
Oh,
big
the
box.
other one?
It's,
The
yeah,
other box,
it's the
yes.
books.
It's
The other books.
Oh, look at this. I've never opened this thing before. There's like a Mardi Gras tote. Oh, look at these.
Are there 2 of them?
These are the fancy ones.
Yeah, I actually have one of those.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna learn how to do coin tricks.
So
with this thing.
if you're on YouTube, don't forget there's a button somewhere down here that says subscribe.
Yep.
If you subscribe, you automatically pass a sanity check.
Hey.
That's handy.
Especially for us.
And we will see you next time. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.